And we are back at the Brandt Center in Regina, the semifinals of the 2008 Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Team Ontario and Team Manitoba. In the first end, it will be Ontario with the hammer. Team Manitoba throwing first and throwing the Yellowstones. Don Askin is the lead for the team from the St. Vital Curling Club in Winnipeg. Had an excellent round robin.
Heavy. Really heavy, like through.
Back 8.
That's not bad.
It's back
Yeah,
8.
it's heavy.
Okay. Coming off a little.
No,
Really
no,
coming
no,
off,
no, never.
actually. Okay, Dawn.
Good one.
Good.
Jill, this side.
Thanks.
Control.
Okay, back foot.
First rock into the button for Team Jones. Interesting stat there. At one point this week, as we mentioned, they were 3 and 4.
Down a bit.
Very much on the outside looking in, but have rattled off 6 consecutive wins to make it to this semifinal.
That's good. Yeah, down a little bit. 10-1. That's good, Andra.
Here's a look at Sherry Middaugh, 9 and 2 through the round robin, and awfully good with the hammer. And Joan, if you like rocks in play, when you watch your curling, good matchup here.
Absolutely. These were two teams during the round robin that would ignore rocks being thrown in the house to throw up the corner guards. They liked a lot of rocks in play early. Now, having said this, I see that they are throwing that first rock into the rings and hitting, which isn't unusual when you get into this playoff situation and they're down to 1 sheet in this arena, and the players feel sometimes the ice changes just slightly, so they're being a little cautious early, but I would expect a lot of rocks in play from second end on.
Oh, we gotta hit the line.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Are we off a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, whoa. Okay, not finished charge.
Mike, both teams yesterday confirming that, actually Jennifer Jones said, rocks actually curl on this ice, which is sometimes unusual for a Scotties. They're happy with the ice overall.
They are. A lot of it has to do with the rocks, but Dave Merklinger's done a fantastic job this week, and no complaints from any of the players. I was watching earlier in the week, and even Jennifer Jones, when she was 3 and 4, was saying the ice is great. It's nothing to do with the conditions. It's just been us, and they haven't been playing all that well. So, no, it's been a really good week of curling, really conducive to aggressive play.
Little up.
And that's exactly right, Bruce. When the ice conditions are quite straight, it goes to the advantage of those teams that are very defensive, those hitting teams. And when there's a lot of curl in the ice, the aggressive style play, the teams that are used to playing the little tap backs, the draws, the big pressure draws, tend to come out on top on ice that curls a lot, has a lot of movement late.
Maybe a touch up. Okay, well, just
The Ontario second, Kim Moore, is a teacher at Woodland Public School, a grade 4 and 5 teacher, says she has received just countless emails from students and fellow teachers and wants to say hi to all of her kids and to the district school board in Niagara. The support has been phenomenal, she says.
Little less. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yeah. Hard. Really hard. No roll cap. Good.
And there's Jill Officer with the hit and roll, and that interview with Kelly Scott just on the top of our show, talking about the juniors that were here in 1995 and how many of those players were in this field. Jill Officer has played with Jennifer Jones since before 1995, and it's the same combination with Kelly Scott and Sasha Carter. It is an amazing record to stay with a teammate for that long.
That's good. That's fine, Kim.
And you compare that with this team from Ontario, where Kim Moore is in her second season playing with Sherry Middaugh. Andra Harmark is in her first season with Sherry Middaugh, and her sister, Kirsten Wall, is playing with her 5th season with Sherry.
Yep. Hard, right to it. Hard. Really hard.
And Kirsten took all of last year off as well. She got a baby, Dana, and just over 1 year old at home. And so she basically took the full season off, and Kim Moore played 3rd last year for Sherry.
And you watch Kirsten Wall coming out of the hack. She's also expecting baby number 2, due in July.
Gotta get center. Whoa! Watch the roll, Kim.
His husband Trevor at home watching my lead.
My fault, Kirsten. You're right on a 10. My fault.
Daddy daycare this week at home with baby Dana.
Sitting 88 or 80s.
When the Women Went. It's a show on CBC, right?
My fault.
Yeah, I think it's inspired
The
by
week.
my curling team. Yep. Definitely for all these players, and Kathy Overton Clapham is also a good example with her 2 children at home, and her husband Mike was here for a couple days earlier in the week.
Oh, no, you're okay.
And I'd like to say he was watching, but I think he was just chasing around those 2 little kids around the concourse here. Very difficult on families.
Kathy Overton Clapham won the Scotties in 1995 as a third for Connie Laliberti.
Draw it the same.
I thought for sure I was going to get a...
I forgot. Oh, I was concentrating
I
on my
thought
weight.
for sure I was almost laughing.
Yeah! Pull down. Hard! Hard on this one. Hard! Right up! Right up! Hard! Right hard, guys. Right to it. Right to it. Hard! Hard! No roll.
This is one thing that I have noticed about Kirsten Wall this week, and that it seems that in the first half of games, she will struggle a little bit. And then the second half, you look out. She makes everything in sight when they need to come back in games or hold their leads. She is very, very powerful, but she seems to be
Well, I
struggling
gave
early
you
in
double
games.
the ice. Like, I gave you more ice, too. I thought you threw it really well, Kirsten. Okay. Yeah, that one you were just a snug, little
one I was
snug.
snug.
Yeah. No, you threw your first one really well. Just way too much ice.
Shooter did hang on though, and will force Jennifer Jones out wide. Ontario now looking to blank this end.
A little quiet. Yep. Hard! Really hard! Hard!
Whoa!
Hard! Go, go,
Whoa! Roll it
Right
up,
out,
Jill.
Sorry.
Had it, girl.
Right here.
Here's a look at the Jones team and their road to this semifinal. A slow start to the week, and they think that perhaps things turned around in that game versus Newfoundland and Labrador. Since then, they've rattled off 6 consecutive wins. And as we mentioned off the top, Kelly Law in 2000 is the only other skip to play in a tiebreaker on a Friday and eventually go on to win the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. That was back in 2000, so Jennifer Jones would love to replicate that. But first things first, the semi today.
Head down there, right?
Nice. Okay, 90. Yep.
When we talk about how much momentum is a very big part in the game of curling, momentum in one particular game, but in an event like this that it is so long and grueling, and I think that they just changed the momentum with that steal and win against Newfoundland. Jennifer Jones started to roll. Very much a player that needs to gain that momentum for her own confidence. Really feeds off that.
Back 12.
Whoa.
Yep.
As it is,
Back
though, you
12.
hate
Yep.
needing help to make the playoffs. And I said it was Sherry Middaugh, in fact, who had to beat Newfoundland Labrador in the last round robin game to allow Manitoba in. And
And you see it there, Mike, at the bottom, the win 8-5. That did allow Manitoba in. A great round robin record of 9-2. The loss in the 1-2 game to Alberta. So Shannon Kleibrink today sits and watches, has Saturday off, and awaits the winner of this semi.
Pretty good. Hard. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
so Sherry Middaugh will be looking to hit and roll out on her last stone here.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Blank this end.
Roll it,
Yeah,
Jill.
go,
Yeah,
Jill.
Jill. Go, 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 go.
Kathy Overton and Jill Officer looking to roll that as close to the center as possible, and forcing Sherry Middaugh to roll the full 6 feet out of the rings.
Rushing. That actually, like, not as straight as it's been there.
So,
like, it actually.
Simple
kind of
shot,
a
but
little bit.
important here for
Well, a
Sherry
little bit,
Middaugh.
Nothing outstanding.
No.
Nice one.
If she stays here, I would be willing to bet Jennifer Jones will go very hard in the second end for her deuce. So it would be a moral victory for Team Manitoba. Sherry Middaugh would nose this and be forced to take a single point.
Sherry Middaugh telling us before this game that last night
Yeah.
They put a positive spin on the loss to Alberta. They know they did not play their best and still took the top team in the tournament to extra ends. They have debriefed well and have hopefully shaken off the loss. Can she hit and roll? Nose hit, though. And a disappointing stay for one. So the team from Ontario hits and sticks. 1-0 after one. Manitoba with the hammer. And to the victor goes the spoils back at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Sunday at 7 on Heartland. It's the season finale. Will Ty and Amy's first kiss also be their last? Don't miss the season finale of Heartland. Sunday at 7 on CBC.
Yeah, once it took the break. Yeah.
First rock in play for Team Ontario in the second end.
And as Mike predicted, Jennifer Jones will ignore this rock and ask Dawn Askin, her lead, to throw the corner guard.
Here.
Sliding.
Clean it. It looks close.
Yeah, it's good.
Just clean it. Make sure you clean it. Careful. Really tight. No, that's good. That's good. Good, Dawn.
Dawn Askin, the lead for Team Manitoba, also a former lead for Team Ontario. As we flash back to the 2005 Scott, Jen Hanna shooting the lights out in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Angle raise.
Whoa! Whoa!
Red onto the yellow shot rock, and she's got it for 3. It looks good. How about the weight? Will she have enough to nudge it back? She has to give it back to a piece of the button. And she does! What a shot by Jen Hanna!
So the call of the great Don Whitman. And Dawn Askin, a member of that Jen Hanna team in 2005 that eventually lost in St. John's, Newfoundland to the team for which she plays now, Jennifer Jones.
How ironic is that? So this is her second season with Jennifer Jones. She now resides in Manitoba. She was on a great run with Jen Hanna in 2005. They came through, backs against the wall, winning all their playoff games, making it to that final.
Line for line. Just go.
So watch this rock move. This is very close to the guard.
Hurry. Hard. Right to it. Atta girl. Good shot.
That's just great brushing.
Shot, Dawn. Good sweeping. Sorry,
Right here.
A little soft, sorry. Good sweeping. Good shot. Good sweeping.
So 4.5?
Yep.
Well, the game's on here. Both these teams are very comfortable with rocks in play, though.
Line's good. 4. Close for line. Are we just at 4? Are we more? Yeah, line's great. 4. Whoa, room. Line's great. Whoa. Line's great. Lock it on.
Yep.
Lock it on.
Yep.
Lock it on.
Hard.
Right up.
Trying to freeze to that yellow.
Okay.
It does the trick. Takes away any type of run back or race for Team Manitoba, so
Let's get those 2.
Jennifer Jones got to deal with those guards.
Teal. I think so, eh?
Joan, Mike,
we got that.
playing on Saturday as opposed to sitting and waiting on Saturday for the game Sunday. Your thoughts on keeping the momentum going or perhaps breaking it and having a day off?
Well, I think it's a question of if you knew you were going to be in the final, I think you're happy to play. If you I don't think any team would ever give up that spot in order to play, if you know what I mean. I think it's and frankly, the teams that we see that get into that 1-2 final typically are very successful winning the championship, regardless of whether they're playing Saturday or they have the day off. But I think it comes down to comfort. And
Well, I think I've been in this situation many times, and we had 2 Scotties that, with the old system where the first place team took the bye to Sunday and sat and waited for a couple of days, and we were able to convert that into Canadian Championships. We also were in the playoff system in '97. We were able to come through the 1-1 game and sit again and convert that. So my feeling is, if you're going to have a bye to the final, take it, because what's going to happen in a 1-game situation you really can't control. And as Mike said, the teams that are leading in the round robin have a lot of confidence. They are playing well all week, and they tend to continue that pattern through the final.
Whoa. No. No. Guess I should have been patient. Okay.
So you say advantage Shannon Kleibrink, who sits and waits with Team Alberta
That
to
weight
see
would have
who
been
will
fine.
be the opponent tomorrow.
Oh yeah, no,
Well, I think the easy answer is that they're playing better than everybody else. They're 11-1 for a reason. You know, they've been the strongest team always. Nothing to do really with the day off. I think at the end of the day, they've just looked so strong. But you know, we've got 3 of the top 5 teams in the country. You look at the CTRS standings here. Regardless of who wins this championship, we're going to have an excellent representative. And you know, all 3 of these teams that are left, you know, you could have made a good argument for any one of them winning this championship at the start of the week. You know, the big surprise, of course, Kelly Scott not in the mix here in the playoffs. That's a great roll by Jill. Looking at playing a tap, I'd be tempted to hit that top one.
I think if you stay on 3/4 on the 2, we should be okay. Okay. But I think you got to be about back line, Kirsten. Get some separation.
I think I'd be tempted to hit that top Yellowstone, kill the top one, and deal with the one that's going to be open on the top 12 foot. Try to save your shooter. This is a very aggressive call here by Sherry Middaugh. It's really important the angles stay good for
back
her.
line.
9.
It's dangerous because you are leaving 2 rocks in the rings that belong to the opposition who has last rock.
9.
Yeah. Whoa.
9.
No. Okay.
The red driven back to the top of the button. An Ontario lies shot.
So now Manitoba will look at playing a split to try to open up that shot stone.
Back 12.
Yeah.
Good, Cass.
A little more than what I just had this way.
And if Kathy Overton Clapham makes this shot, Manitoba will lie 2nd, 3rd, and 4th shot stones. Very dangerous situation for Ontario, where their shot stone will be quite lonely in the house.
It's pretty good.
Hard line. Really hard line.
Really hard. Hard. Really hard. Hard, guys. Go. Hard, Don. Hard.
Whoa. Yeah, go, Don. Go, Don.
Whoa.
That's pretty good, Kath.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And as you said, Joan, Manitoba now 2nd, 3rd, and 4th shot.
Good weight. Yeah, great weight.
But it did over curl. They would have liked to open up that shot stone completely and not leave her shooter sitting there at the top of the 12
You can
foot.
get that double. That's great.
Well,
Just
I like
normal,
the top
though?
2. Are you doing the top 2 or the
Well,
other
I'm
one?
more worried about here. If you can kind of overlap these, that's not bad.
That's a good shot.
Yeah.
Very
Just off
dangerous.
nose.
Be nice to
house
stay
right now for
there.
Ontario.
Yep.
Yeah.
Normal.
Big shot here for Kirsten Wall.
I like the call. You need to get rid of one of those front yellow stones, but you have to keep your shooter protecting that shot stone.
They're trying to kill the stone at the back 4 foot as well. That's the double they're playing, not the double in the top. This is the right call.
Normal?
Yep. Close. Yep.
Yep.
Hard. Hard.
Hard.
The one at the back 4 is removed, but
Sorry.
She's got a great roll. Look where the shooter is.
That's what I was talking about. That more, for me, more important than the double was where that shooter ended up protecting their shot stone.
Get off it for the double?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Most definitely.
And just
Where
that
your shooter
soft
worked out, it's
takeout
not
weight.
bad.
Yeah, no.
And actually, where the 2 finished,
They
it's
should
not
get off that a
offline.
little bit. They make the double and roll frozen.
You called it right away, so I thought, oh.
I thought I was gentle with
Oh,
this.
okay.
So I knew I needed to hit it high side.
Yeah.
To cross
Stay
your
there though.
SOL.
Well, yeah, you'd have to cross the path to pick her out.
Not bad. We might.
I can't
like, if we
come
hit it
through.
really
Will
thin,
it
we
curl
might even
enough
get
to
it.
move it this way? Through this hole? Like with back 12?
Okay. Yeah, and if you tick the front,
Well, if
that's
I
okay.
tick one of these and roll.
I think we want to tick the 6. If anything, go there.
Okay.
Okay. Back 12. Same weight.
Yeah, okay.
So they're going to play the out-turn tap
weight.
through the hole.
Okay.
Try
if I
to
tick
nudge
the top,
this stone.
That's fine too.
back out of the rings and save their shooter in this area over here. You heard that if they're going to wreck somewhere, they want to wreck on this stone and disturb those two rocks and open things up a little bit. They do not want to miss this wide and leave that stone protected on the button.
I just didn't know how straight it would run either, like as you're crossing center.
Very makeable shot, very difficult shot though. She gets through this port. The 3 is definitely in play.
Hard! 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 Yeah! Whoa! Whoa!
Has to move a bit. Right now it's on the red.
Whoa! Whoa!
Starts to come now.
Hard, Dawn!
Go, Dawn.
They anticipated the curl too soon. They were sweeping that rock early, knowing that it was going to break hard.
I thought I was lighter than that.
Oh no, same weight.
The weight was great.
Sorry, because it didn't finish like I thought it would at all.
Well, I had a little more weight than I thought.
Watch how close they are to the stone on the right. They're trying to miss really tightly to the left-hand guard, actually, and they would have chipped that stone out. Big shot for Sherry Middaugh now, too, though. She's going to try to come through that same hole and freeze the back forefoot,
If I ever cross it,
Well, you can't cross it.
well, I can a little bit though, and punch it here. Like if I ever do that, I don't. No, I don't. You'll probably get it to here. But you just don't want to hit half and not get a piece of 8. Yeah. Well, and I'd hate to just stick it in there. Yeah, maybe this is the safer shot. At least your shooter's going to stay in the fort, you know, to protect the forefoot.
Do you guys like the tap?
I do, just because if you try to draw in and you tick off, you're opening it for her, right?
Well,
you can
right
only
now-
see
right
a
now-
quarter of this rock
Okay,
from
well,
the other
then
end.
it's jamming.
And that's
Yeah.
jamming.
Yeah. Like,
so if we can
even if
just
we
plug
tick,
the hole.
well, I think we need to
no,
get
there's
another
too
one
many
in.
ducks
We
in
need
the
to get
pond
another
here.
one in here, Kim.
Well, can we go this way?
No.
Well, I don't think we can get
Well, I
through the
don't wanna
hole. We
give
can
her-
either do the tap or the same draw. Like, disturbing this one isn't a big deal.
No.
Okay, well then draw.
I think the draw.
We just don't want to disturb the 6-7 combo.
No.
It's whatever you like better. I just don't know if you don't
So
make
the
it
shot
perfect,
they're
you
looking
may
at
need
is
to slash
tapping this
double.
stone
Right.
into here, and what they really
like
want to
spreading
do
our
is
two
get the
out.
stone into the
Okay,
8-foot area
I'm trying to-
and
If you
And
just hit it high side,
eliminate
yeah.
the possibility of these two stones counting.
then is she trying
And
to
by
run it in?
doing that, their shooter may roll into the center as well and really block that hole off. So double bonus. The key here is getting the stone into the 8-foot and eliminating the possibility of a 3 or 4 score here for Manitoba. So they're not in a whole lot of trouble anymore. That was a big miss by Kathy Overton, and Manitoba's really chasing at this point.
I
But
threw edge 4 in practice.
this is kind of
and
a
the straight
preventative
draw was-
shot.
It was coming to edge 4.
Okay,
So this should be good.
yeah. So we want to hit what we can see.
Yeah.
Just with like an 8, 7.
Yeah, we just need biting 8-foot.
Okay.
So it's a good combination of talking about line call strategy and weight. They want to kind of cross the face just a tiny little bit.
Tiny little bit.
Coming into the face of this. Now, what happened on Kathy Overton Clapham's shot, and what's very important on this ice is that the sweepers let the person in the house know exactly where the weight is so they can anticipate where that big break will happen. Sometimes they're yelling so hard to sweep, they don't listen to what the sweepers say.
Where is it? 10?
No, let it work.
9. 10.
That's more weight than what she wants.
Line. Line's getting better. Whoa.
Lots of
Whoa.
Lots of weight.
Remember, she wants to tap the red,
Get this one to
No.
8.
at least to the 8-foot.
That's fine.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Jennifer Jones really needs to deal with those front stones right now.
No. We need to hit
Perfect
it.
weight.
Weight is fine.
We just needed less
Still
ice.
It did the trick, though. It took out those 2 other yellow stones from a possibility of counting.
There? I think less.
Jennifer Jones really has a problem now. The 3 stones out front, where Sherry Middaugh rolled to, the shooter is here, is going to make it very
I think we gotta
difficult
do something here.
to remove this stone. She's going to throw big weight in here. The question is whether this yellow stone will drag back the same direction onto the stone in the forefoot. It may with the drag through. These rocks are frozen. If you hit it on the right-hand side, as we're looking at it, the yellow stone will get pulled back to the left. The question is whether it will hit that one in the forefoot. May happen. It's always difficult to tell with those angles.
Let's just hope she takes
But the
it
shooter's
to
definitely going to be top.
And drag theory has a lot to do with it. That the rocks are frozen and what the striking bands are like on those rocks. Every set of stones will react slightly differently.
Heel. Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
First of 2 skip stones for Jennifer Jones, second end.
Hard. Hard. Go. Go.
There it is.
Straight back.
What a great example of the drag theory.
Okay.
Great way for people to learn about these rocks when they're frozen. This is when this principle comes into play.
Yeah, if you originally looked at that angle, you would have thought that there's no way that stone's going to even touch the one in the forward. And in fact, it got pulled across the face and spun the other way. So wonderful shot.
I think we got to play it smart. We can't.
Good news is for Sherry Middaugh, she did tap her stone in far enough to count that stone out at the back of the rings. There is a jam possibility though, however. Sherry Middaugh needs to make a little hit and roll here into the button to take away the chance for 2.
We're third.
Yep.
Yeah.
He said we're third. So the danger stone for Sherry Middaugh right now is this one back here. If she noses this shot straight back onto here, her shooter's going to stay wide open and leave Jennifer Jones a little shot for 3. Key here, even if she rolls out, the most that Jennifer Jones can score is 2. Do not nose hit this.
Let's get the roll. Okay.
Perfect shot, of course. Roll right to the button and force Jennifer Jones into a difficult shot.
And Sherry Middaugh has just thrown this draw here where she was surprised how straight it was. Little bit of doubt in her mind.
And here's the ball through the hit as well.
Sweepers on this from the start.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
They're often now not to jam it.
Hard.
It was a good sweeping call there by Kirsten. Let it go. Make sure it gets out of the 8-foot.
So now a shot for 2 for Jennifer Jones. Basically a wide open hit. Great result for Jennifer Jones and really all set up by that her first stone. Recognizing the drag effect would happen with those 2 frozen stones and getting shot stone out of it.
9.5. Done. They're third, so.
Yeah, that's okay.
Seen this hit twice already this end, so should be
But
no
as
issue
it turns
here.
out, we should have changed the angle, right? It wouldn't have been a bad thing to change the angle. Yeah, right? Sure enough.
This has been a well-worn path this end, this particular shot.
Whoa. Yeah, bad. Hard. Hard. Whoa. 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 Clean. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Wants to hit and stick around for her 2.
Whoa. Good.
Nice throw.
Mission accomplished on end 2 for Jennifer Jones and Team Manitoba. We head to end number 3 with Jones leading Middaugh 2-1.
Thank you guys. You set it up nice.
And back at the Brand Center in Regina, home of the 2008 Scotties Tournament of Hearts semifinal Saturday continues on CBC Sports Weekend. Team Manitoba, their first rock of this third end. The 2-1 lead, Ontario with the hammer. Pretty fun stuff so far. This is especially the second end. Rocks in play and seemingly the momentum going back and forth with each rock.
Well, and that has been the treat that we've been had all week here at the Brand Center in Regina. These are the kinds of games that happen all over the place, and there's been a lot said about the depth of this particular field of competitors at the Scotties, and this kind of momentum change happened all over the place. In fact, it seemed at the 5th end break, right across in those round-robin games, if a team was leading at the time, there was a 50-50 chance they were going to hold that lead because there was that many rocks in play.
Is the depth of this field the best you've ever seen?
It is definitely up there, I think, as one of the best. When I look across Canada, and what I mean is, when you look at every province, did you think the best team came out of that province? And arguably, I think we just about got them all. And you watch the WCT, the World Curling Tour stats to see if that is confirmed. And I think the only exception is in Saskatchewan, with that Michelle Englot beat Stephanie Lawton, who was higher ranked than she was.
A reminder coming up next, a hockey night in Canada. Matinee matchup, the Ottawa Senators on the road in Pittsburgh. It's the start of a big day of hockey. It starts at 3 Eastern and noon Pacific.
Right here, guys. No deeper. No deeper than this.
Andrew Warmack curling 100% through 2 ends.
Sit.
Well, Andrew just missed her first one by putting that guard, the corner guard, into the rings.
Sit.
She's definitely the rookie of this squad, and perhaps a little bit of nerves, and because her stones are really, really important. They need to place them perfectly. And I know when I was speaking with Shannon Kleibrink's team from Alberta about their incredible 2 games against Ontario, one in the round robin and one last night in the Page 1-2 game, they said Andra Harmark was just so hard to defend against because she kept putting her rocks perfectly in place.
Yep. Oh. Yeah. Hard.
Jill Officer has a May 30th wedding date fast approaching.
Get it. Atta girl. Good shot.
Good shot there. She's also 100% through 2 ends.
Shot, Jill.
Pushing. Right here.
Like freezing on top of that one?
Straight freeze.
Straight freeze?
Pardon me? Top, freeze. Well, I'd rather go here. Just make a call. Right here.
Throwing it in between those 2 stones tight to the rings to make it difficult for Manitoba to remove. About a foot short of the house, right in the middle of those 2 yellow stones. Is the call.
3. Okay, let it move. 4. Let it move. 3. It's got to cross.
Let it work if you can.
Just a 3. Okay.
Go hard. Hard! Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa.
Nice shot.
Perfect.
Good shot.
Just perfect. Difficult to remove. Couple of catchers, and difficult to remove without leaving a guard in play for Ontario. Very nice touch there by Kim.
Want to nose it? Nose it. Yeah, I like the nose a little flop.
Okay, throw here.
These teams played on Monday night, back when Jones was far from being on a roll. 11-4 was the score for Middaugh.
Yeah!
They also played twice earlier this year in the Abbotsford and Sobey Slams, and both of those games went to extra ends, and both were won by Team Ontario.
Yeah! Whoa!
Great shot. Nice shot,
Jill.
Nicely done.
Slide in, out, like,
This team from Manitoba, as we said, you let them into the playoffs. They are so good because they have a lot of weapons, and one of them is that they can play very defensively. They're one of the few teams that continues to defend a lead by hitting things inside instead of trying to kill you with more aggression, which would be the style of play used by Sherry Middaugh's team from Ontario.
Whoa, close for line. Yeah.
Only bouncing.
Whoa, close. Yeah, for line. Hard
6.
for line. Hard. Hard.
Boy, good sweeping.
Then that rock was just moving so hard, almost wrapped itself around that tight guard.
I think so.
What a great addition to this team, Kim Moore. She's an intense competitor. Been playing with all sorts of competitive teams in Ontario. She's a great team player. She's a communicator. She gets people laughing, and but she's intense too. She wants to make every shot.
The Manitoba third, Kathy Overton Clapham. She was actually icing her knee after the game versus Quebec yesterday.
No.
Bit tender, but says she's certainly fit and ready to go today.
Clean. No. Clean. No.
Clean it. Whoa.
Whoa.
No. Good. Good.
As I said, just such a great hitting team.
Manitoba lying 3 without Hammer here in the third.
And arguably, they're the best team at changing gears. They're able to play both games very, very well, Jennifer Jones. They seem to be comfortable with rocks in play, but as I say, once they get 2 or 3 points up, they're as good a hitters really as they're out there.
And the only other team I would say that that you could say the same thing about is Team Alberta. Shannon Clybrink as well can definitely switch gears in a hurry.
Line's good. 9.
7, 8.
Close for line.
No.
9 only. Lots of
Are we
line. Through? 10.
9.
Are we through?
8.
No. Okay, next for line. Room for line. Room. 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 Room, guys. Room. Make it good. Yep. 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 Hard. Hard, Andrew. Hard.
Wonderful
Nice
draw.
shot.
Good shot.
Really well done.
I need edge of the floor at least.
And you can see there just isn't any sense of panic on the faces of Team Ontario. This is how they play this game. They don't mind the rocks in play as long as they've got a shot left for Sherry. They're quite comfortable leaving all these yellow rocks around.
And Sherry Middaugh's had a great week. She's played very, very well.
Hard really line. Hard. Hard line. Really hard. Hard. Keep it going, guys. Go. Hard. Go, go, go. Hurry. Hard. Hard.
It's on. No. Okay, Kath. It's a little light, eh? Kathy?
It's just a frustrating feeling when you know right out of your hand, even though there's like 4 feet between where your rock is and where you want it to go, that it's already tight on line. That's how much curl is in this ice late in the movement.
A little more, just because Jill's went to the way over. Probably just a little light, like it was like kind of sweep it all the way just their waist. You know, like if you had a little bit more.
Trying to stay on the nose. Yep. You just roll off. It's an easy double.
I don't mind that.
Double's not there, so the key here is that you want to hit a little on the high side, keep your shooter lined up so the angles don't change. If the angles change, you may leave some sort of double of opportunity for Team Manitoba. So key here is hitting a little to the left as we're looking at it, close center line side, not lose the angle.
Oh, this is curling hard.
Hard on it, hard on it.
Boy, so much late movement here.
Good sweep.
You know, they got away with that because of that Yellowstone ended up as 4th shot just by heads-up sweeping with Kim Moore.
Did the trick, and nice thing for Ontario, there's no double available here for Manitoba, so you may think, you know, that's not a great shot, but in fact, Ontario's okay. They're pretty happy with what's going on. Jennifer Jones has to deal with this stone and needs to save her shooter. And if she doesn't keep it in play for second shot, Sherry Middaugh's still going to have an opportunity to score 2 here. Pretty good result. Didn't look very good, but actually in the end of the day, it's fine. So Jennifer Jones hitting shots, third shot stone. The good news for Ontario is this stone back here is going to keep the deuce alive. Even if Jennifer Jones rolls in, leaves some sort of double, Ontario's got that saver at the back and still has a good chance to score 2. Nose hit here, of course, jam in play. So Jennifer Jones needs to be a little careful.
A little quiet. Whoa. 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 Clean. Whoa. 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 No.
A little wide. Watch where the shooter goes and taps this yellow stone.
Nice shot. Good.
Worked out okay as well.
Probably wasn't bad in the end, Jen. Sorry. That's not bad. No, it's not bad.
Nice. Normal? Wow. So we have to pop the 3.
Should have rolled it more. It's not terrible. Should have rolled it more. No, it's pretty good, but I probably should have rolled it more.
How do you pop the 3 and stay there? You
Then.
I think it turned out pretty good for Jennifer Jones.
Nose. Okay.
Nice thing for Manitoba again, if Sherry Middaugh nose hits this, she needs really to save her shooter in front of her stone at the back of the 8-foot, or Jennifer Jones again will have an opportunity just to hit and lie too. And again, momentum switching back and forth here with all these rocks in play.
Yep. Okay.
Really no choice here for Sherry Middaugh. She's going to have to make a play on these 2 stones. Hoping that her shooter stays in play, hoping that there isn't a double left for Manitoba.
Key again is that she'd really like to save her shooter in this area so that there's not an open hit on that stone at the back of the 8-foot. If she does make the double and rolls her shooter to the center line, Jennifer Jones will hit and lie 2, and Sherry Middaugh will be forced to take a single point.
Normal.
Whoa. Whoa.
Great shot.
Perfect. And again, Kirsten Wall is so calm. So, yeah, it's not out of the range, but we're second. We're shot stone, and we're guarding our own at the back, realizing the key was saving the shooter. Great sweeping call.
You get that sense from Sherry Middaugh, like, we played that a little too close for my liking.
Oh, yeah. Okay, tons. Good shot.
It's perfect.
I wouldn't say tons. Oh, about an inch. It was coming up pretty hard again, wasn't Sorry, I was looking because there was the double in off. Lay to a lay one, too?
I wouldn't say
Even just fighting
tons.
up 4 is okay. Okay. We don't have any line, because then...
Kirsten's so calm. She's so just unflappable. You know, she's like that in person too, and you know, really nice person to have on a team that's full of energy. You always need someone kind of to calm you down, and Kirsten plays that role really well on this team.
Well, yeah, I thought where we ended up with the shooter, there's no way we were hopping it enough.
So Jennifer Jones now coming around that stone at the top of the 8-foot. If she makes it pretty good into the top 4-foot area, you may see Sherry Middaugh play a little raise for 2.
Not bad, a little light, maybe.
Oh, man, line's real good. Line's good.
Jennifer Jones love to get shot stone.
Top 8. Wolf, you can. Wolf, you can. We can go a little.
Line's perfect.
It's got to curl still a bit more. Wolf, you can. It's got to curl.
You're right. Sorry.
Looks heavy.
Whoa, Jill,
Stay with it. Yep. Yeah. Hard, Jill. Go.
Sorry.
Well, there she is, shot stone, but pretty exposed.
It's available for 2, but it's tricky.
Sorry, Jen.
That's okay.
It got about an inch
I thought
buried.
it would snap over, too, so...
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
But there is an opportunity here for 2. Fairly easy shot for 1. Pretty tough shot for 2, but very makeable on this ice.
We did see this in the highlight package when Quebec was playing Manitoba in their 3 versus 4 game.
Yep.
This very type of tricky hit around the center line. She ended up racking on redirecting on the front and a big swing. So you got to be careful of that.
I like a little less,
stone
Kirsten.
in the top 12-foot, the red one.
80. Yep.
Belonging to Ontario, that you cannot redirect on that. Make sure of your 1 point, then go for 2. It's a very soft weight touch here needed by Sherry Middaugh.
Typically what we do, Bruce, in this situation, once the line's good, you get the sweepers to just pound it hard as you can to move that second stone out of the ring. So listen for the sweepers, some communication, how the weight is.
10. Whoa, that's what we want. Whoa.
Gotta let it work.
So some third-end intrigue here in Regina.
Let it work.
Right off.
Big shot for Sherry Middaugh.
Right off.
Weight's good.
They haven't touched it.
Hasn't curled.
Okay.
She threw the weight she wanted. They liked the shot out of her hand.
One yellow? Sweep that
Steal of
Yeah,
one maybe.
at least one. And
here. I didn't see this. Sorry? Maybe it's 2 yellow?
Might be 2.
This one?
It looks like it's red to me. It looks like
Can I
a
move
steal
this
of
one?
one. But of course, you know, everyone should
Oh,
vote,
no,
Bruce.
just 1 yellow.
Oh.
yeah,
I'm
I'll
not
measure
convinced.
them.
Okay.
Measure? I was trying to get
Kirsten
you to
Wall, a
sweep
little
that
casual,
one.
right? They didn't realize that that stone at the top of the 8-foot was
I'm
tight to
getting
the
there, so you take a little
4-foot area. And they were not concerned about that stone. They were concerned about the stone at the back 8-foot. So actually, in fact, Kim Moore swept that yellow stone back and
And we crossed
helped
it.
bump the Ontario stone
I thought
back.
it was yellow, but
Sorry, guys.
is it not close? Don't give up. Yeah. Well, that's why I went, whoa.
I think it might
She
be
said,
yellow.
"Oh, no," so she's probably right.
But definitely close enough to measure.
Big mistake. Well, it's actually a big mistake. Bad result from what they thought was a good throw.
Exactly. She looked like she threw exactly what she wanted.
Okay.
It's red.
it's
One
red.
yellow.
So a steal of 1.
I'm wrong.
And I'm writing it down.
Jones celebrates and showed us Team Manitoba with a steal of 1 in the 3rd. It is 3-1 Jennifer Jones after 3. Well, for the first time since 1998, the Scotties Tournament of Hearts returns to Regina. 10 years away and back with a bang here in this semi. 3-1 Manitoba through 3.
Make it good.
Ontario the hammer in 4.
Yeah, go, 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 go.
Looks light.
Yeah.
A big point there for Team Manitoba early in this game.
And really, that last throw by Sherry Middaugh is quite indicative of the story this week that happened to a lot of teams. Team Canada fell to this. They threw the weight they wanted. They hit the broom. like they wanted, but didn't get the result at the end of the sheet of ice. And it was just tricky. It's a lot of curl. And that happened a lot this week to two teams. But the good news is, with this kind of ice conditions, the great rocks, you know that Team Ontario is very much still in this game, able to set up some rocks and play and try to get their deuce.
Solid back line.
Well, a deuce here, and we're back on serve, so to speak. And Joan, in '98, that was when you and the Schmerler team came home from Nagano and had, what was it, 3 days to go to sleep and get up and play a Scotties?
I'm just not sure if they were days or nights in between there after we came home from Japan. We were very tired and on the wrong time clock, but we walked into the Brandt Center here 10 years ago to a standing ovation and a sold-out crowd, and we fed off of their energy all week, and it was fantastic.
And made it to the playoffs, an event won by Kathy Borst eventually.
A lot of memories were relived this week with that 10-year anniversary.
2, 3. Yeah, hard then. Hard for line. Hard for line. Hard, guys. Hard. Go.
Andra was asked to play the freeze here, but is very light.
Okay, Andra.
No, Andra has not been on so far this game. Some slight miscues.
And what that means is Ontario's going to be chasing now the rest of this end, at least 2 or 3 shots away from getting out of trouble. You're going to need a couple of big, perhaps a double. Those guards are lined up nicely for a double for Kim Moore. Jill Officer's going right in the rings here. So you need a double and a little bit of help from Manitoba.
Wait on the
poor rock position.
pretty close. T-line. You got lots of line, guys. It's all there.
Can't be T-line.
Where?
T.
Okay, go then, yeah. Go then, hard. Round it, go, go, go.
I don't think
Hard.
so.
It's coming down now.
Well,
Which
then.
light? No. This is 4 foot.
No. No.
Who's going to settle in the 8?
Not happy because of the doubles left.
With the talk about 1998 and Sandra Schmerler, good time to bring in Scott Russell at ice level.
Yes, Bruce, and nowhere is the legacy of Sandra Schmerler stronger than right here in Saskatchewan, the 1998 Olympic champion, beloved in these parts. Today, Francine Poisson, the president of the Sandra Schmerler Foundation, is presenting a check to Judy Davis of the Hospitals of Regina Foundation for $35,000 for an infant heart monitor. Everybody's passing the bucket. The Schmerler Foundation continues to help families of children in distress throughout Canada, and to date, Bruce, if you can believe it, more than $700,000 has been raised. The beloved Sandra Schmerler. Bruce?
Okay, that's great.
It's a great number. All of the curlers during the break, you saw them there passing that bucket.
Right to the nose.
Little less, Joe.
Their motto, champions start small, is a legacy to Sandra's love of family and making those donations to neonatal units across the country, specifically where the Scotties Tournament of Hearts are held every year. So
let it curl
back
then.
to Regina.
Whoa. Getting better, yeah. Line only. Whoa, then, whoa. Yeah. Hard. Hard. Whoa. Whoa.
Lost it.
That was okay. Not bad. Yeah, it's not bad.
John should line only. I thought we were
heavy. We should have told you very sorry.
How'd we lose that?
Problem for Sherry Middaugh is well, there's good news and bad news. Good news is they got a mistake from Jill Officer on her first and allowing them to get into the rings.
Be nice to stay in front of
Bad
ours.
news is there's 3 guards out there that
3/4
need to be dealt with.
So if you can hit half a rock.
Of ours?
Yeah.
I can see almost all.
Of theirs?
Of ours.
Well, I know. Hit half this.
Yeah.
Try and stay here.
Yeah.
Just with control, though.
Okay.
Watch the drag theory. We talked about this in the second end. The way these rocks are lined up, if you hit half of the stone on the center line side, you may see that yellow stone pull back onto that stone in the top 8 foot. Well, again, the question of how tight they are to each other.
Hard! Hard!
Hard! Hard! Hard!
bump, and the red.
Not paying attention. They're not paying attention to that angle, and that cost them there. And you said they wanted to stay in front of the guard. They rolled it exactly where they wanted to. Rolled the shooter in front of where their red stone was, and it killed them.
That one.
Watch that stone. You look, the angle appears it's going to miss, but it gets pulled right back onto the nose of that stone at the top of the 8-foot. And yeah, that's just the small details. And we saw Jennifer Jones take advantage of that in the second end, and it cost Sherry Middaugh here in the fourth.
Yes.
So Manitoba now lying 2 without Hammer here in the fourth.
And guarding.
Great situation for Manitoba. Very comfortable.
Oh, let it
And
work.
the other team is chasing you, and you have a
Halfway
lead.
to halfway. Okay, line's good. Line's really good. Tight.
This is way out there.
Tight. Gotta curl, guys. Go. Gotta get to center. Keep it going, Jill. Pass the red. Go, Jill. Hard, Dawn. Keep it going. Go.
They
Okay,
may have
good.
just closed the hole. It's tight. There may be a port there. Very small.
Good.
We'll see what they say.
I don't know if that gives us anything.
I think we got to do this first.
That's a hard one to stick.
Well, if you get through it.
But if you can ever be doing 2-3.
Okay, call it.
Normal.
Yeah.
Just get on with it, says Kirsten. Whatever you want.
It just reminds me of a player I knew, Jan Betker, used to say, whatever, call it.
Call it, I'll make it. We're good.
Well, they're in trouble. Kirsten needs to be close. This is over curling.
Might get the back one. Got away with it.
I'll say that is very fortunate that they got that result.
Really gets them out of trouble, which is the good news. Well, the trouble they were in. There's still other trouble possible coming here from Manitoba. Well swept.
They were trying to drive that rock straight back instead of they got the shot stone. Of course, didn't stick the raise that they the shot that they raised back.
On the TV, it looks like it.
In there. Okay.
Just roll.
Question, interesting to see if that stone at the back, right behind Jennifer Jones, is in the rings. If so,
Room. It's not bad. Line's
Manitoba's
good.
got to be a little
No,
careful
you
with
got
rock
room.
placement here,
It'll work.
but still a good opportunity here for Manitoba.
Whoa. Back four. Back four. No, then.
Whoa.
Line's perfect. Make it good. Steep. No.
Back
Gotta be above the
four.
tee.
Gonna over curl.
No.
down
Line's perfect. Whoa, above the tee. Make it good. Yep. Come on, guys, go. That's good.
I'm not sure why she was disappointed in that. That's a very good shot by Kathy Overton Clapham.
Not sure what that gives us.
You're still forcing the other team, the other team to make a very good shot. She's gonna have to follow her down.
Chipping off yellow and getting second shot in that way.
Pardon me?
Open up the 4-foot.
Well, you might as well come down. I can't hear you. Well,
Open up
I don't
the
know what that
4-foot.
gives us, though. They
Or
block.
right over.
Sherry Middaugh's got great instincts when
Try
it
and
comes
stay
to
here.
making the aggressive freeze type call, and
Okay.
she's right in saying that she doesn't know what dealing
Then
with that
we're
stone
jamming.
top 12-foot deals with. So they're worried about the jam, so that would tell you that stone is
If
in
we
play.
hit and roll and they suck another one in,
Okay, then let's go in.
right here.
I like the freeze. There's lots of room. The fact that stone
Where
curled so
Kathy
much,
had.
there is room for Kirsten just to draw right beside that stone, kind of corner froze into it and get shot. Make it difficult for Jennifer Jones to deal with.
Line's a
Key
little
shot here in
tight.
this end, though.
It needs to get shot
Need to
stone.
be shot stone, otherwise Jennifer Jones blocks the hole and
Room.
you're playing angle raise of some sort.
Lots of room.
Where is it?
Are we heavy?
Yeah, it needs to
7.
tap.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, shoot, we're by.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep. Yep. Whoa.
Whoa. Okay, go.
How far will it go?
Go.
Did it stay for shot?
It's close.
It's close. Is it? I think it's probably
Question
red.
2 is the one at the back there biting the.
It may be.
Oh, I don't know.
It may be, but at this point I don't think it's going to come into
Right
play.
here
It
would
looks
be
like it's
ideal.
on
It looks
there.
like it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's so many rocks
You can see
now,
it if we
2
tap it,
Manitoba
it's not
stones in
terrible.
play
No,
that
that's
Sherry
right.
Middaugh cannot remove.
Okay.
Tapping's not terrible because you know what? You might rub to here, and how does she get
Jennifer looked at those
yeah,
two
no, I know, but
stones,
that's hard to get
and
to.
she
just
thinks that the
knows.
red may
Even
be
if we
shot.
chunk there,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
The danger here for Jennifer
just
Jones
saying
is
if
that
we
takes
get
the same
right
path that
here.
Kathy
Yeah,
Overton
no, that's
Clapham has
good,
and
yeah, but
nudges
then she can
her
play
own
off
Yellowstone to the left and gets it,
I think ideally just
chips
sit
it
right
out a little
there.
bit. So she wants to
Like there?
avoid
Yeah.
clipping this stone a little bit
That's a little
sideways
more
and rolling her shooter into this area, leaving Sherry Middaugh going to hit to lie 2.
Should be close anyway.
Anywhere in that hole, if she feels she shot stone, anything in the short of the rings is actually pretty
T-line.
good.
But she feels that Ontario is shot stone. That's why she's playing this.
Yeah.
Fraction. Let's go, Jen.
Sherry Middaugh's going to have a couple of tough ones coming up.
Or the yellow ones.
Yeah, very important shots. Cannot afford to give up another steal here. Get down 4-1 to this Manitoba team. Great defenders.
You know, the first end was pretty pedestrian, but since then, every end has been twists and turns and ups and downs, and here's another.
Trying to negotiate that court.
Yeah, then. Hard! 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 Really hard! Really hard!
By the yellow guard.
There's the mistake.
Nice shot.
And she stayed for shot stone. Well, we know that Ontario at the back will be second.
Hard to get to that stone, though.
Thought you had it, just ticked, eh?
And just take a look at the shot stone now.
Yeah, just try and stay there. Or do we have to throw
See how
firm,
tight
actually?
that port is. You
Ooh, I have
can't
to throw
really
firm,
play it
Kirsten.
with the
Okay, yeah,
out turn.
that's
You
fine
can only
too.
play it with an in turn with enough weight to hold the
Hold
curve.
the line,
Just
right.
nice and clean.
Got to throw it hard.
This is tough. This is a tough
Believe
shot.
it'll go too.
Not Sherry Middaugh's
Just a little
strength
hip and
either.
flop in front of ours.
Well, it's going to be hard not to flop to the right as we were looking at it there.
So the way
Tight
to
port.
miss this shot, of course, is to let it over curl. You cannot rack on the rock that's in the top 12 foot. You see how close they're going to need to come to that rock to hit and stick. What an interesting end, Bruce. I agree with you that the momentum has changed all over the place.
A great shot here from Sherry Middaugh will again put pressure on Jennifer Jones. Rolling out will leave Jennifer Jones a fairly simple shot to basically the same shot she just threw without the danger of wrecking on her own again. So she'd love to stay here. Sherry Middaugh would love to stay here.
So an in-turn with some pace from Sherry Middaugh.
Right up, right up, right up, right up, right up.
By the yellow.
Oh, but she moved
rubbed
her
her
own. And again, Bruce, I think it's yellow.
Now she may have returned the favor.
Just touched it too.
He's getting those going.
But she's just talking about her release. As she was giving it the turn, she might have just turned it in towards the target a little bit. And that's the thing about arena ice. If you up your weight, it's going to run really straight. You have that in your mind. And so you're worried about flipping it outside. So I think she just turned it a little in.
Yes, it
Nice, I
did.
think. Yeah.
We ticked ours. I don't
Again,
know.
if yellow shot a pretty good shot here just to plug the hole. You know, I know that Jennifer Jones would love to come in, but if yellow is in fact shot stone, you throw
I
one
think
in
it's
that
us.
port. I don't know how Sherry Middaugh
What about
scores.
a guard?
There you go.
It's us for sure.
Go take a look.
Yeah, Jill Officer is the eyes on this team. We have watched this before. She's going to come down and take a look.
Shot.
Yeah, I don't know how Ontario
Yeah,
scores if
how
you
does
throw
she
it
get
in
there?
there.
I'm not good at this.
That's Kathy Overton Club. I'm just saying, oh, somebody else come in here.
Yeah, she thought they got 2 last time. They only got 1. So did I, though.
Yeah, I would bet it's us too.
Like the guard?
Yeah, if we're shot. Just
Take a
that
look,
I'm not
Super D.
good there.
Oh, not from that side.
There's an art to this.
Now we're going to invite down the audience members and
She thinks
have a little vote.
You guys think or you're sure?
I think.
I would say 98%.
Take a vote.
The other 2% is just to cover my back.
I think it's us.
Okay. Well, I don't, yeah. So I think we guard.
Just center line, eh?
Yeah.
Is that where you were, Jen? Sorry, you moved away fast.
That's a little more than I had, but I think that should
I
be
didn't see you.
a little less.
Okay, so the guard coming into play. So the question then, what does Sherry Middaugh play? There's a couple of options. She can run this one in, try to score 2, or she can play the Jennifer Jones in off to score 2. So the good news is for Sherry Middaugh, once this guard's thrown, she has a chance to score 2. Yeah. Obviously, the difficulty is the shot's going to be extremely difficult, but there is still a chance for her to get a deuce.
The in-off that you did draw off is very steep where the shot stone is. So that isn't as easy as a shot as if it was farther over to the center line.
It's a little less risky than the run back, though, in the sense that you cannot give up more than the one that's in there. So if you play the run back, hit it wrong, you could give up a steal of 2. So the question is for Sherry Middaugh, where does she know the ice, and what does she comfortable in playing?
Hard sliding, hard clean. Harder than that.
A little deeper in your broom.
So the center line guard from Jennifer Jones.
Well done. Perfect. And guards are hard to place on this ice with this much curl. So wonderful shot.
So Sherry Middaugh looking at the raise. And you don't need to throw this with big weight.
You got to miss the back one, and then we're going to be rolling that way.
Okay.
Right?
Whatever you like throwing. I want to stay back here, though.
Yeah, that's fine. Normal. A little pro side.
So, Mike, you say you don't need to throw a lot of weight on this, but on ice that swings, it's easier to control a rock that you have a little bit more speed on than that in-between kind of very, very soft bumper weight.
Sherry Middaugh said the reason she doesn't want to throw this hard is she needs to kind of hit it across the face of that stone in the rings as you're looking at it. And by doing so, when she makes contact with the yellow stone, her shooter's going to be rolling out to the left. And if you threw big weight at this, almost impossible to save your shooter. So she's going to throw her normal, which is reasonably quiet.
Soft, yes.
And that should be enough to save the shooter. Big shot.
Little down.
Final stone, 4th end from Sherry Middaugh. She trails 3-1 to Jennifer Jones of Manitoba.
Needs to move.
Trying to drive the red. Back in and
almost got lucky, but 1 yellow.
Yes, indeed, a steal of 1 again for Jennifer Jones. She stole in the 3rd and steals again in the 4th. CBC Sports Weekend continues from the Brandt Center in Regina.
I figured that would pull up.
Welcome back to the Brandt Center in Regina, Saskatchewan, the semifinal of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Right now it is 4-1 for Jennifer Jones of Manitoba over Sherry Middaugh of Ontario. Do you think these people are excited about the 2009 Scotties in Victoria, BC? Let me get it right. Julie, Bill, and Cheryl, and here's the chairman of the organizing committee, Chris Atchison. How pumped are you in Victoria?
I mean, we were pumped before we came here, and now that we're here and are seeing this event, which will be our event in a year from now, seeing it firsthand, it's just a great feeling.
Chris, I know it's the first time in Victoria for the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, not that it hasn't been in BC before. Do you think you can take advantage of the Olympic momentum that we'll be building for 2010? Building, I said.
The building, absolutely. Bound for Glory is the theme of our event for 2009, and we firmly believe that our event is an accomplishment in itself, but for the champion of that event, there is a birth in the Olympic trials process at stake. And there's something greater, even beyond our event, which will be the 2010 Olympics. But for the teams that are here competing this week, and for the teams that will be on track to make it to Victoria next year, they will be bound for glory.
And if I can, I just want to say you got a beautiful building there, the Save on Foods Memorial Center, which they scrambled to get ready for the Men's World Championship a couple of years ago. I know you're all ready to go, aren't you?
We're all ready to go this time. In 2005, it was a scramble, and full credit to the volunteers that made that event happen, because it was it was dicey for a while there, but we made it happen. It was a wonderful event, and the Ford Men's World Curling Championship in 2005 really put curling and Victoria on the map together, and we're looking forward to doing that in 2009.
Chris, all the best of luck to you and the good people of Victoria, BC.
Thanks very much.
There you go, Chris Atchison and the 2009 Scotties in the BC capital of Victoria. Bruce?
Well, Scott, here in this 2008 Scotties, Jones a steal on 3, steal on 4. Here we are in end number 5, 4-1 Manitoba, and Ontario with the hammer.
Ontario was down last night in that Page game 4-1 to Shannon Clybrink and fought their way back, went to an extra end, and had an opportunity to win. So you don't count Ontario out yet, that's for sure.
Need some better rock placement early in the ends from both Andra and Kim Moore.
Come on, we got it.
Truly, it's all about the lead. I got to tell you, she is really struggling with her game.
Field. Hey, Jill, good throw.
As you see, Dawn Askin having a better day than is Andra Harmach.
And I would question those numbers from the scorers. There is no way that Harmach has played 81%. She's misplaced 3 rocks already, and this is the 5th end.
Right to it. Gotta go.
You'll be shocked when we get to the skips numbers as well. Huge discrepancy there.
Go, 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 go. Faster, Dawn.
Again, the problem for Sherry has been that she's had really difficult shots. She's been in big trouble almost every end, and you know, you look at what Jennifer Jones has been throwing, guard last end, for example, and she had a reasonably tough shot in her first one, but really there was a lot of good things could happen for her. So, you know, it really comes down to the end builds from the lead up. And when you got your skip throwing angle raises, it makes things pretty difficult. And as I said, it's not, you know, the numbers don't reflect always how difficult the shots are that the skips are facing in the thirds and the seconds as the end builds.
Your goal when you're playing against such a worthy opponent, a team that is as good as you, and there's some numbers here for the seconds, is to make the other team uncomfortable. And you need to put pressure on them and make them make those tough shots under pressure. And so far, Manitoba has really not been under pressure. There's a miss.
Bit of a break, rolled into a pretty good spot for Ontario.
So now Ontario has something to work with. A guard out front. And a nice touch shot here for Kim Moore. And this is, she wants to move that top Yellowstone that's in the 12-foot behind the tee line.
Hack. Back line. Hack. Close.
They're yelling hack weight, which is a lot of weight.
Hard. Hard. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yes. Whoa. Hard. Good shot.
Very nice.
That worked out very well. That was not hack weight.
I think I have to hit the top one, don't I?
Pin down. Yeah. That's fine.
Oh, I guess I
Make
could.
the double.
Yeah.
Could run the guard.
Oh, that, okay.
Like that, or do you want to just go here?
Yeah.
She'll just play that. Jill suggested that. Yeah, that's not bad. She's going here. No, if I slash the guard. No, I know what you're saying, yeah.
What?
Okay.
Do you like that?
Yeah, yeah. 8.
Let's go, Kathy.
Just off nose.
What?
Just off nose.
A good chance here for Kathy. If she doesn't make the doubles, she'll be happy to open things up. I like this call. Kathy's concerned it's a tough shot, but...
What are you thinking?
Well, I'm just thinking if I don't make it, she's just going to come around the... Okay, we'll make it.
Yeah.
I have to worry about 8.
Yep.
Yeah, she's worried about the miss, and she's right. The psychology of this shot is to visualize the make.
Yeah. Hard. 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 Yeah. Hard.
Sorry, Kat.
Now, although she got the double peel, you can see there still is a guard in play, and now it's a corner guard, which of course Ontario is liking.
Line's tight. 6. Whoa, whoa, line's good. Close.
Lots of room.
Lots of line. Lots of line. 7.
Let it work.
No,
Getting
lots
better.
Of line.
Getting better.
7.
No, close. Yep.
Whoa.
Yep, bounce off this one. Hard. Hard.
Something.
Something. Okay.
Pretty good. Tough to remove from Manitoba.
Pretty even play from the thirds today.
Have a quarter?
What'd you have?
Yeah.
93. So
Play it if if you're on the front, that's fine. It goes right on to here.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you like a 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like 3 dot things here. They're in there. They're in there. 9.
A little bit of debris on the ice.
It's a tricky little pick shot here. Has to negotiate the guard.
More than a 9.
Whoa, whoa.
She gave this a little push out.
No. Right.
A little push wide of the broom.
No, no, never. Okay, Kat.
Again, first real miss we've seen from Manitoba. Only had to curl another half-inch to kill that Ontario stone, but good break. 3 in play now for Ontario. If Kirsten Wall can get this around buried to the top 8-foot, Jennifer Jones is going to have a problem. Got Ontario right back in this game.
I think so. Let it work.
Talk about creating something out of nothing. Really, not a good setup at all this end.
So Kirsten Wall trying to.
This looks really good.
Yes, bury this behind this yellow.
Yep.
Beauty.
Beautiful shot.
Whoa. Nice
2 great
shooting.
shots by Kirsten Wall. 3 in play now. Jennifer Jones has a really tough time getting rid of this stone.
Right in
She's
the
going to
middle,
probably play a
Kathy.
run back. Sherry Middaugh would need to deal with that stone on the button. If Jennifer Jones does not make a double on her last stone,
Yeah. Well, we can't
They're actually-
little high.
looking at the run back, knowing that they're in
Jennifer, which
trouble.
way?
If they miss it,
Jen,
I said Sherry
I
Middaugh's
think
going to
you
hit this
wanna know
stone.
the Kat.
Jennifer Jones will have a double, but if she ever jams it, gives up a 3-tie ball game at the break, and Ontario right back in this game with one little mistake. Of course, Jennifer Jones like to make the run back, and run back doubles the call. Tough shot though.
Do we hit and flop and hope she misses the double?
You heard her say it.
Yeah.
Jennifer Jones usually very close on these.
She is good at this run back. She knows how to where to put the broom for her rocks to make this.
Yeah. Hard. Really
Right out of her
hard.
hand. Don't think she got out to the broom. Can the sweepers?
Whoa.
No, it's nowhere close.
Roll it off, Don.
It's way on the inside, and
I cursed her.
I
cursed
jinxed her as
Yeah.
well, yes. As soon as you just say somebody always makes a shot.
Okay, big shot here for Sherry Middaugh. She's looking at the hit and flop. You know, really what she wants to make sure you stay. Jennifer Jones is going to be playing that. There's an easy double there already. Make her make it.
She puts a tight one up. Well, we've seen, you know, could only come in this way depending on where your guard is. Yeah.
She's considering guarding.
Can either guard it?
No.
Or hit and roll. Yeah.
What do you really think, Kim? I'm with Kim. The reason I'm with Kim is that momentum is completely on Manitoba's side here. They've finally gotten a break. You cannot guard. Jennifer Jones makes the guard. All of a sudden, you give up a steal again. Take your sure deuce by hitting this.
Yours probably,
You got to assume Jennifer Jones is going to be close to the double.
yours more
Take
like
your 2,
Andrew's.
1
Yeah,
down
yeah.
at the 5th end break. Pretty good situation.
Well, the choices were to guard that double on the corner. Now, if you guard this over here, you're taking your chances that Jennifer Jones doesn't put on a perfect rock in here, making your shot very difficult to get a couple. And so the discussion was, what do we want Sherry to look at? And I agree completely with Mike, and that is it's all about momentum. 2 is huge right now in this game. Let's make our shots easier.
Control. Yep.
So she's looking for to hit and roll to the other side. Over curling, they need to work hard to hold the shooter.
boy, oh boy, it continues to just roll away.
Bounce 5.
You know what? They're not happy, but there's no real no triple there, and the double actually is made slightly more difficult, I would say, because
Just
now
gentle with
Jennifer
it.
Jones
Yeah.
has to throw an angle, some sort of angle double to make this, and actually pretty good break there for Sherry Middaugh.
You see the discrepancy in skip play to
I
date.
just was a little tight, I thought.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sherry Middaugh's had some tough shots in
That's
there
the
as
thing,
well. But the most disconcerting thing for me, if I was on Team Ontario, is that Sherry Middaugh has rolled a couple of interns. She got them going.
That's 3 now, yeah.
That would be something that I would want to address in the break to say, okay, is this something that's going to happen all game, which is okay because we'll take more ice. But let's talk about your rocks are moving more than what we expect.
Kathy Overton Clapham's going to have to make a sweeping decision earlier. I believe the call is to run it straight back into the pocket and spill. And there is a chance actually that the stone they run back could go out to the right-hand side. And you know, if you could really fire it, maybe get all three. But you really got to be careful. You just don't stick it on one of those two and leave Middaugh a hit for 3. So
this is the same shot she just played in the run back, just farther into the house where she was narrow of the broom.
Yep. Hard.
Looks like she threw this one much better.
Driving the red back into.
There you go.
The other reds, and
tie ball game in theory. I won't say it before she throws, but one little mistake from Kathy Overton Clapham, and look at the whole new start to this game.
It's over curl the hair.
Boy, the crowd feels it too, don't they?
I think you get all 3.
Going to 5 tied is a real possibility here.
Well, if I'm Ontario going to the break, we have played terrible. We're not even in the game, and we're 4-4. I'm really, really pleased, and things can only get better going into the second half of this game. And Manitoba on the other side, completely dominating this game. Tie ball game. What do we need to do? Can it get better for us in the second half? So huge, huge momentum swing here in this 5th end.
And we talk about mental toughness. Mental toughness is the ability to move forward and to let go what has just happened.
Middaugh gone to the out turn.
Board. Whoa, 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 whoa.
This is way out there.
Clean.
Nice soft weight though. Should get a little movement late.
Clean.
Don't touch it.
She's good.
Okay.
Yeah, wants to hit
done.
there and stay for 3.
Game on.
Yes, indeed, Mike Harris. Game on here in Regina. At the 5th end break of this semifinal, Sherry Middaugh has tied things up at 3 with the hit and stay in 5.
Well, I said big break there for Team Ontario. Getting one little mistake from Kathy Overton Clapham, and game is on.
There. I've seen that. No.
You know, it was interesting because, boy, the first end was pretty simply played, and then the rest was just full of rocks and great strategy. Scott Russell with Sherry Middaugh.
Yes, here she is, Sherry Middaugh. It's incredible how the game turns, isn't it? Were you worried that there was too much intrigue and that you were facing too many difficult shots?
Well, they weren't really even difficult shots. It was just not making them properly. And it was just one of those where, you know, the shoulders were slumping and we just didn't have the energy. And now that we got that big 3 back, I think we got momentum. And unfortunately, now we have to take a break. I would love to just continue on. But, yeah, we have it back, and we are going to force them to 1 and continue to play.
A quick one here. Is there any concern amongst your team that your intern is moving a little bit too much?
No, I was tight. And my interns do move. I know that, but I just got to get to the broom and believe in the ice.
Sherry, thanks so much and good luck.
Great, thank you.
There's Sherry Middaugh, 4-4 between her and Jennifer Jones. We'll continue with the Scotties Tournament of Hearts and Championship Curling on CBC from the Brandt Center in Regina, Saskatchewan.
Highbrink and Team Alberta watch today. They await the winner of this, and not much has been decided through 5. 4-4. Ontario with the big 3 in the 5th end. Tie this game. Manitoba with the hammer as we start end number 6.
I think the only thing that has been decided, Bruce, is that this is going to be a great matchup.
Line's good.
Who knows what's going to happen?
There it goes. Make it good. 14 even.
Okay, so that's draw weight.
Yeah, straight last pass.
There you go. There's a good start for Andra.
What is that? Huh? I think so. What?
Oh, yes.
A little surprised Sherry came in, actually. Thought you might want to put a little pressure on Manitoba. Again, take that momentum in, but...
Well, I am equally surprised that Jennifer Jones is hitting this stone. So both teams reverting back to that defensive mode that we saw only in the first end.
Yeah.
Well, this is exactly how end 1 began.
8.5.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
And Ontario really can't afford to ignore stones in the rings, but Manitoba with last rock may decide that once this, we've seen this quite often at the Scotties in particular. Once the stones are out of the 4-foot area, we see a lot more comfort in terms of throwing the corner guards. We'll see if Jennifer Jones chooses to throw the corner now,
9 only up a little bit, but
or maybe try to get some momentum back and be content just to calm things down a little and hit out an end.
A reminder, Sunday at 8, don't miss the final episode of the show that grants you a behind-the-scenes look into the business of the Royals, both at home and abroad. Monarchy, the royal family at work, Sunday at 8 on CBC.
Still on. Whoa. Oh, it's on. Ah. Lots of weight. Right off. Sorry. Wait. Oh, you're done. Hey. Sorry. Top 30.
5.
Seven.
Easy. Whoa.
If you missed it earlier, Kim Moore is a school teacher at Woodland Public School in the Niagara School Board District, and a bunch of her students watching today and have sent encouraging emails, words of hope, so Kim wanted to send a hello right back to you.
Hey, Jill, can you? I just did it.
Well, there's something there.
So interesting strategy here from Team Manitoba, not wanting to mix it up at all in this 6th end. They have last rock. It really is up to them to push the envelope.
Yep.
Take a little chance.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
You just get the sense that they're not quite over what giving up the 3 points last end.
Is this maybe a catch your breath sort of end and let things calm down?
Perhaps.
Control. Clean it. Yep. Right up. Clean.
Whatever it is, it's different from the previous 4 ends.
It's riveting, isn't it?
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, the truth is we're just disappointed. If you're out there, and I know, you know, both Mike and I have been out there before, and you're in those kinds of games, you just kind of want to stop what's happening. If something good is happening for the other team, you really do want to mix it up. So you don't really care about whether it's entertaining for the fans at home when you're a player. You certainly just want to know what will change the momentum in your team's favor. So we do have a call here. It is a freeze.
Got room.
It's gonna curl. So
Should get there though. It's a little late.
But if you were going to take this kind of chance later in the middle of the end, why not take the chance earlier and throw the corner guard?
Really hard for line. Hard, guys. Go.
keep it going. Go, go, go. Keep it going. Go, 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 go. Good try, Jill. Nice weight. Right.
Here's what you might term advanced scouting. That is when she turns around. Shannon Kleibrink. What a week she had, Joan.
Oh, they have been fantastic. Her and longtime third, Amy Nixon, Olympic bronze medalists, have a new front end here, and they played lights out this week.
Amy Nixon was phenomenal last night versus Ontario in the 1-2. Just as good a game a third can play.
Okay, my ball. Okay.
Creating a little bit of a pocket here.
Pardon? Was that a little up? No, I thought it was normal. Okay. We just pounded it.
Thinking about here. Yeah, no less.
So a freeze is going to be called here from Kathy Overton Clapham. Trying to create a deuce out of nothing.
Find on very swingy ice. Freeze is really tough way to score too, because it's so hard, difficult to get the line perfect on the freezes. On straighter ice conditions, line isn't much of an issue at all, and the sweepers can really weld those stones on perfect on the perfect angle.
Off, Jill. No.
That's just heavy.
Not bad.
So that pocket there, if you're Ontario, what you'd like to do is hit that yellow stone and kill that stone in the forefoot and kind of line those two rocks up. So they don't mind losing one of their stones, even if you can nudge it over for a biter. And really, you're going to force Manitoba to score this end, but they don't mind losing their own. This is curling hard.
Danger jamming. There's the contact with the yellow.
Right out, Sherry. Hard, go.
It's dying.
Well, that's what I expected her first one to do.
Yeah.
Mistake, huge mistake.
I don't understand, why Kirsten is not throwing a lot of weight on those. She's got nothing to lose by throwing a big weight takeout.
And she's able to throw the weight, that's for sure.
She chose not to.
I guess we could have called that aggressive.
Yeah, I was thinking anything high side or good.
Yeah, well, that's what we did your first one.
So,
I thought you were tight on your first one.
We saw innocent miss last end from Kathy Overton Clapham. That's that was a very simple shot for Kirsten. This is a tough shot to miss here for Overton Clapham. Very easy as doubles go.
A 9?
And the danger here is that it over curls as Kirsten's did. Even still, though, you could still roll in front of that red Ontario stone and make things tough.
No. No. Yep.
Kathy Overton Clapham, the Manitoba third, trying to remove 2 red.
No. Hard done.
Hard done. Okay.
And they both go.
Okay.
Beautiful. Moment of doubt there as that was coming into the house.
Followed by a moment of relief. You can see it on her face.
Take a look at how she just misses the jam. Ooh. Nicely done. So now, great opportunity for 2.
That's it, a freebie from unforced error there from Ontario. So Sherry Middaugh looking to make the double, and worst case, what she really wants to do is make sure that she hits this on the center line side, roll her shooter into this area. If she hits it thin enough, look for the angle onto this stone, and that's a decision that Kirsten will make.
Okay.
Kirsten really good in the house making that decision halfway down the sheet, but they have to commit one way or the other.
It'd be nice to like sub in, right? I choose Wayne to come throw this shot for me.
Yeah, the big weight double.
That's her husband Wayne watching, and this is one of his bread and butter shots.
Yeah. Whoa. Roll it. Whoa.
Needs to sit. Great shot.
That turned out very well.
Corner freeze, I think.
Yeah, I think
It's a good call there from Kirsten.
Wayne and Sherry, the parents of Kelly,
Throw it okay
8 years
after?
old, Emily 5.
Yeah, I thought you did. It just kind of went.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to take much more ice and have it run on us.
No, exactly.
I thought they'd be able to hold it, but at the end it really popped over.
Yeah.
Try to freeze. Okay.
So trying to play a corner freeze here, key it up on the center line side and have the angle where that red stone would be pushed past their own at the back and put the pressure on. Again, the difficulty here, that combination of weight and line to make sure they're both good.
Speed still the same, Don?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is Scott Labonte. He is the, well, there you go. Nosies on, husband of Jennifer Jones.
Saw Wayne on the screen, and what about me? What about me? I knew it was coming.
Equal time?
I don't know if we'd sub Scott in.
Line's good. To it. Oh, line only.
It's an important shot here for Jennifer.
Bumping a little. Whoa, it's got to curl a lot. Off, Don. How much? Bump, back line. Whoa, it's got to curl still.
Back 12.
No,
Just back
no. Nice shot. Nice shot, Jen.
Very nice. Just stopped in time.
It's good, Jen.
Pretty good, yeah.
Nice shot, Jen.
Interesting to see what Sherry Middaugh elects to do here. I think if I was her, I'd just try to pick that
not bad.
cleanly.
Yep.
And
That's good shot.
Jennifer Jones may have a little tap back for 2, but certainly be reasonably
We
tough.
can't do both.
Can we not?
Yeah, sure you can.
No.
But
Well, but if my shooter stays here, it's an easy double for
Yeah.
2, right? Where I think it's a tougher 2 if we
Okay.
pick it,
Again,
right?
Well
Okay.
thought out.
Sherry, she's got great instincts.
then?
You know, she really does. And
Yeah.
watch enough big games again with Wayne, and she knows what the right decision is most of the time.
Okay, like that. Or you like
Yeah.
a little less?
I agree that she knows what the right decision is. What her weakness may be
just a
is
straight
this
pick.
big weight
Okay.
shot.
Nose isn't bad.
Well, the nose, we're not. It's going to be an easier double. It's going to be an easier.
Not really.
What do you
even
think's
if you hit
easier, the
7/8.
straight pick or kind of the nose?
You need to make this decision now. You can't wait till you're in the hack. So they really
Doesn't
made
matter
to
what
make
you
the
want to leave
commitment
her.
Straight pick isn't bad either, Sherry. It's what you feel comfortable, I guess.
I think just high, like,
Okay, firm.
yeah, just firm.
I like this first call. I like the straight pick. I do believe that it is more difficult for Jennifer to deal with that rock that's farther back in the house than one that's higher.
Right, by nose hitting it, what you're doing is creating more separation between your own stone and the opposition stone, and makes the angle a little bit easier for Jennifer Jones. Pick it clean. That stone's only a foot away from your own. It's really tough for Jennifer Jones to move it past and save the shooter and score two. It is possible, but it's tougher, definitely.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Right up. Go for nose. Yeah.
Already has missed the pick. Plan beat.
Good sweep. That's fine.
No, not really. A little tight right out of her hand.
Yeah, this again, like I said, the big weight shot is not the strength of Sherry Middaugh. I'm not saying that she doesn't make it, it's just not her bread and butter.
Just straight tight. Okay. Shoot. I think the pick gives her a tougher shot. The nose.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, but once we're
coming up, it's an option.
Yeah.
I thought if you just hit it high side, you may scoot by.
This is not a gimme for Jennifer Jones, but it's one you'd expect her to be pretty close. Not a lot of room to roll to the outside. She can't afford to let this rock come to the nose. She does need to hit it slightly on the high side, but
okay. Because if it ever takes
it was a good look at it there.
Great chance here for Jennifer.
About an 8-foot putt, Bruce, in golf now. This isn't a 2-foot tap in, but it's very makeable.
But
is it uphill?
It is uphill.
You need to be accurate on the broom. You need to be able to nail that broom, have the right weight so it doesn't run.
Just how different two rocks can react.
Jennifer in the 5th end, both her out turns were tight as well.
Whoa!
So the skip from Manitoba looking to reclaim momentum. It's been topsy-turvy here.
Needs to move.
She's got the nice soft weight.
Nice
shot.
Nice
Perfect.
shot.
Absolutely perfect.
Gives up 3 and 5, comes right back in 6 with 2. Jennifer Jones 6-4 over Sherry Middaugh here in Regina.
Welcome back to the Brandt Center in Regina, Saskatchewan. 6 ends of play are done in the semifinal of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. It is 6-4 Manitoba's Jennifer Jones over Sherry Middaugh of Ontario. Here's Sherry's husband, Wayne Middaugh, 2-time Brier champion, 2-time world champion. He's got a tan. He's been spearfishing in the Bahamas, but you made it back to see this. How much does Sherry want this thing?
Oh, I've never seen her put more effort into this, and it shows every game I see her come out here. You know, she's had 2 tough losses to Alberta, but her resilience has just been unbelievable. She keeps fighting back and fighting back. The way I look at this game is she's only down 2 minutes, always in big trouble.
Are you surprised at all that maybe the front end has given her a lot of difficult shots to make, and is that a tide that's got to turn a bit if she's going to be successful here, Wayne?
Yeah, you know, it's just part of the game, right? It's the way she calls the game and sets up the ends. But the team is playing so well, and they're playing as a team, and they all understand their roles so well that, you know, Sherry knows that she has to make the big shots, and that's why she's throwing the last 2 rocks. So hopefully she keeps it going.
I know you love men's curling. I know you've always been about men's curling, but it's been a great field, has it not, for the Scotties? This is a pretty wide open competition.
It has been, you know, it has been a great field, and you know, it shows that the teams have put the most effort into it. You see Jennifer Jones in there week in, week out on the tour, Sherry, and Shannon Clybrink. They're the teams that are right up there on the tour, and they're the teams that are here at the end of the week.
Line will be really
Wayne,
good.
thanks so much for this, and all the best of luck to you and Sherry.
Thank you very much.
There you go, Wayne Middaugh. Bruce, back to you.
Interesting comment there about the teams that play for and get these CTRS points week after week.
That's
And
fine, I don't mind.
no surprise that here we are watching 2 of them.
And it's part of the characteristics of those teams that become Canadian champions is preparation, is a big work ethic, or you're putting in your time on that curling tour. And as Wayne said, these are the top 3 teams. I have a question for Wayne, and that is, where are the children? You know, Wayne plays a lot, so does Sherry.
Yes.
I know that it's Wayne's parents that helped them out huge, and I have an utmost respect for that couple.
10-11. Yeah.
I know when they're both going hard. I know they actually have in their home in Mendlin, they've got a suite in the basement for the parents, and that was part of the agreement.
Nice shot,
We're going to look
Andrew.
after the kids while you guys are curling. We need a really nice place to stay for us.
Nice shot. Need more of an angle.
Well, the lead rocks have been played, and here's how it breaks down through 6.
Yeah, there's we haven't made it easy for Andra Harmark, but definitely that she's missed some 3 very key shots so far. But the good news is she can turn that around.
Oh, and they were the first 5 ends too, and as I said, after 5 ends, the game was tied. So from here forward, you know, this is really the question as to what's going to happen. So again, that was kind of a weak deuce there from Manitoba. Ontario gave it to them. Routine miss there from Kirsten. Let Manitoba get the momentum back without really working or earning it. So we're going to see now if Ontario can earn their deuce right back and tie this game up going into 8. Jennifer Jones is they're such a tough team. You hate giving them free points, and that's what happened that last end.
Yeah. 2.
So looking for another corner guard from Kim Moore. Just protect that second shot stone and try to bring in a multiple score into play.
2 over and off, though. Oh, well, let it sit. Okay. Take him.
Nice throw.
Look at how the seconds have fared today.
And you know, Kim Moore has done a good job of cleaning up after Andra has got them into some trouble. She's had to make some really great freezes and little tap backs. So not a lot to choose from between the 2 seconds so far.
Yep. Gotta go. Sorry.
Jill Officer has been with Jennifer Jones for ever, a long time.
Good.
It's a nice peel there from Jill.
Well, basically, they've spent their entire curling careers together.
Line's a little bit better, still tight.
2.
Okay. Over and off then. Clean.
2, 3.
Clean. Just to clean.
So a bit of a game of cat and mouse here. Who's going to make the first move? Will Jennifer Jones come around the guard and lie to? Or will Sherry Middaugh come into the rings and play the tap back to lie to start? So the really decision making, and this is kind of the interesting part. It's a guessing game, a little bit of a guessing game.
Yeah, that's not bad.
The way that Jennifer has called since the 5th end, I would be very surprised to see her ignore that corner guard.
Okay. Do you guys like that?
What are we doing? Sorry.
Healing.
Yeah.
She's thinking about it. Nope. Back.
I think Kathy Overton is thinking about it. Overton Clapham. But you can just see that Jennifer is just not comfortable, and I don't blame her. Ontario is very dangerous with those guards in play.
Nope.
Well, they did not go after the guard in the 5th end and gave up 3, right?
You can clean it. No, you're on it. Clean it. I just didn't want to hit our own out.
That's fine. Good.
Nice peel from Kathy Overton Clapham.
Forward. Stay there.
Sherry Middaugh making the first move.
And she is calling for board here. The other option is a corner freeze on that stone, or a little tap to the back 4.
I like tapping it back, even right to the back 12. A couple of catchers back there.
By calling board weight, you will bring in grouping of stones together, a double attempt by Manitoba.
Whoa. Is it up? No.
Do not want to roll this to the left as we're looking at it, but it will, and we'll set up a double.
That is the danger of playing that much weight.
So makeable double here for Overton Clapham.
You have to be careful about the jam.
Go a little high.
Was that up weight?
A little, yeah.
I think nose hit's fine.
Get to 2 off the back. You like that better?
Yeah. Okay.
So they're well aware of that rock at the back
I need a little
of the house, that there could be a jam possibility on this double attempt.
2 doubles in the 5th end from Jennifer Jones, over curled in this exact spot. So
That's where she threw hers.
got to be aware of that. Nose hit gets them both though.
What am I throwing again?
8.5.
Kathy Overton Clapham very strong on these type of shots.
Yep. Hard. Really hard. Hard. Really hard.
This is over curling as well.
Okay,
Nowhere near the nose, Mike.
Well, that's 3 times they've been caught in that exact same spot.
That's where her doubles moved.
Right here? Yep.
Quite a bit more ice, I guess. Yeah, that's where your 2 hits really moved.
Edge there for Kirsten Wall from Team Ontario.
Kirsten's played really solid. There's not been too much dispute in any of the shots she's made. 90% excellent.
Both thirds have just made one big miss on a takeout attempt by both of them that set up the points for their opposition.
At the end only. Reach there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We have no line.
This needs to stop.
Go, go, go.
Okay, good judging, guys. Okay.
She's just always so very close on that draw weight or those tap back weights. She never panics. You don't see a lot of emotion out of Kirsten.
Good judge. Good shot. Thanks.
It's just a great third.
Shoot, I know I could have gave you a little less ice. I was just thinking the first end when we drew over there, I had inside, right? That's a long time.
Again, key here for Jennifer Jones. She wants to stay for shot. Double's not really there right now. If she stays for shot, Sherry Middaugh taps it back, then the angle might be a little bit better for her on her next shot.
With the up weight, it just kind of ran.
Doesn't want to give Sherry Middaugh a free draw.
So Skip Stone's 7th end here.
Whoa. Whoa.
6-4 Manitoba, Jennifer Jones.
Yeah. Whoa, 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 no.
She wants to curl up to the face, as Mike's talked about.
Kirsten might sweep that out, I think. Yeah. You hate to leave it in the back and leave a double and get forced to draw. So.
This is great, yeah. Shoot. Sorry, little first.
Yeah, I think I didn't get it though.
Pretty straight there too.
Yeah.
It's a back 12. So you want me odd?
So the key here for Sherry Middaugh is you want to either, there's two options. Well, the first call is to bring it back into this area where there's no double. It'd be too flat of a roll. If the sweepers think it's light, the next option is that you're going to want to leave it very high up here so that the angle coming off of this stone to make the double is very sharp. So listen to the sweepers, see what they want to do, and they need to make a commitment fairly early as the stone travels down the sheet to put it where the first call is, which is back 12.
And I'll say it's tougher to sweep to the back 12 than it is to leave it in the top.
8, go! Bars it'll go, back 8. Right to back 12. 8. Back 12.
Take a look.
Yep. Can go
hard.
Yep.
14-6.
Hard, guys.
Okay,
Bend it. Yep.
Just leave it high.
No, leaving it high.
Okay.
Well, you can see there is the double there. Jennifer Jones is not afraid to throw this.
Well, not a lot of options here for her. She's going to try one or the other. And it's a little bit of that situation we saw in the last end where double, yes. If listen to Kathy Overton Clapham, if it's starting to curl early, she'll let it go and they'll try to roll over in front of that Ontario stone.
Sherry Middaugh, by the way, as you look at these stats, had a lot of tough shots, especially through the first 4 ends. So her percentage bound to be lower.
So better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
See that?
That's fine.
Again, Jennifer Jones pretty good at this shot, and we've seen 2 or 3 of her out turns over curl. We'll see what this one does. Her last one ran very straight in this spot.
Yep. Whoa. Hard. Whoa. Hard. Hard. Hard.
She's going to get a piece here.
Hard.
Missed it.
And across the top of the red.
So just over curled. And again, they swept it right out of her hand.
Thought we had it.
It looked to me that the sweepers held it a long ways, right out of Jennifer's hand. It was moving. And they just missed it. They needed to hit a little thinner. So giving the favor back here.
This is one of those key, important, simple shots that you need to make as a skip to get the momentum back. And this is a very simple shot. No reason to miss this one. But hugely important for the team momentum-wise. Just through a draw, should have a good feel.
Sweepers are saying whoa.
As did Sherry, out of the hand.
That's a good sign. Now, once they get on it, you know you're okay. Skip.
It's looking great as they sweep the light clean kind of into the house.
So a gimme for Sherry Middaugh. And she answers the Jones deuce in 6 with a deuce of her own here in 7 as CBC Sports Weekend rolls along.
Too bad.
Playoff action at the 2008 Strauss Canada Cup from Kamloops comes your way Saturday, March 1st with women's and men's curling competition. That begins at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. And Championship Curling on CBC will have the finals next Sunday. A look at the Strauss Canada Cup women's qualifiers. Great looking list there, as you would expect, and the men's list equally impressive. That's the Strauss Canada Cup, Saturday, March 1st. Women's and men's curling competition.
On rim, fully. Mine's perfect. Well, if you can.
Yeah, we can roll.
Oh, no. No. Oh, no, line's good. Weight's good. Hold on. Yeah, a little bit, Jill. Nice shot.
Yeah.
Atta girl.
So we're really down to crunch time here in the 8th end. You see that guard thrown up by Ontario, and a great rock placement by Dawn Askins from Manitoba.
Line's great.
Really important
4, 5.
that Andra Harmar get this second stone
Lots of room.
frozen in front of the tee line.
There we go. 5. Yep. Line's great, just for weight.
Gotta go.
Yep, then. Yep. Line's hard for line. Hard for line. Whoa.
Yeah, a couple of good shots there.
Nice shot, Andra.
From Andra.
Perfect.
If you're just tuning in, you've missed a good one thus far. Through 7, 6-6 the score. Here's how it broke down. The hit for 1 in the first from Sherry Middaugh. A couple of big ends. There was the hit for 3 in the 5th to tie this game. Jones back in the 6th for 2, and Middaugh answers with 2 of her own in the 7th. Add it all up, and it's 6-6. We're playing 8.
Too late. Long, she's 12 foot, more line. No, line's good. Bite
gotta go, Kath.
Hard. Bite D, line's perfect. Right to it, Jill. Go. Hard, Kath. Wait only, take a look. Yep.
Go.
Hard line, go. Very nice, Dawn.
Great shot.
Great shots by both leads.
That's a great shot.
Yes, it is.
Kath.
Just the 3.
Rim,
So the leads have done their job. 2 stones now. Kim Moore.
She's looking at freezing on the top
Gotta let it work.
of this line.
Let it work. Here it comes.
We gotta get to the face. Yep. Right up.
Hard.
Right up. Nice shot, Kim.
Great shot.
Nice shot.
I think the peel.
Kirsten.
Great shots, Dawn. Good sweeping, Kathy.
Just a reminder here, Monday at 8 o'clock. On the week the women went, the men are learning that family responsibilities mean a lot more than bringing home the bacon. Watch the week that women went, Monday at 8 on CBC. And Suzanne Goody saying hello to the CBC booth up here, I think.
Okay, that's just too ironic. The week the women went, here we are at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, and the women have been away from home for 10 days or so. I think there's a lot of husbands that are understanding that whole sentiment.
Normal.
Yeah, that's not bad. Just to roll away.
You like the 2 onto the 5?
Angle's not good for
weight do you
Ontario
like?
right now. Sherry Middaugh recognizing that. And,
Whatever you like.
Well, it doesn't matter. Your shooter's not staying around anyhow, so whatever you think you want to throw to get to it.
How about control? Or board? I like board.
No. I think you just, I was thinking more normal, Kim.
Yeah. Okay, that's
Because you're not
fine, too.
keeping your shooter anyhow. Normal.
Okay, that they've all agreed on the call,
Right
which
now
is
they're
that
not great. Normal weight.
they would like to promote their own red stone, that second shot stone, and move the yellow shot stone that's in the 4-foot. They're just disagreeing on what weight to throw. Tricky, very tricky call. It's got to curl enough to make contact.
Finish. Good shot.
Nicely done.
That's what we had to do.
Nicely done. I agree. That's what you have to do.
Makes the angles better for Team Ontario. Good shot from Kim Moore.
Shot, Kim. Thanks.
Throw 8.5. Okay.
Let's go, Joe.
Crunch time. Hard to stay committed to the aggressive style of play, leaving opponents' rocks in play as you get into the late ends of these big games. And you know, the really successful teams are really good at being patient that way and don't mind leaving rocks in play. And we're not seeing that right now. It seems a little discomfort. Game's tight. Here we go into the semifinals, and a little bit more conservative play from both teams.
That's pretty good. I don't know what happened.
Ontario's happy that their Redstone stayed around. Going to give them a chance to lie too. Continue. They'd love to force Manitoba into taking a single point here. Like this call, hitting the top one.
Is there a team right now, Joan, that looks more comfortable throwing at this very strategic and important juncture of this game?
I really think Ontario does.
Great shot.
I think Jennifer Jones is playing quite defensively, more defensively than what I've seen her play all week.
And concerned. She looks concerned about what's going on. And
the body language of Team Ontario seems more vibrant right now, doesn't it?
Well, they don't panic. They've been in this situation many times before.
Even a few times this week they've been down big and fought
like
back.
Wayne Middaugh said. He said they're down too. You got to be scared.
Complete control.
It's true, though. I watched them this week. It is true. Whereas Manitoba has not been comfortable. Just missing, you know, by quarter of an inch, those sorts of things.
They said it's very difficult to have a big lead early in a game and then give it up. And that's really the issue that we're seeing with Manitoba. They're struggling, figuring out how to get it back, get the mojo back on their team. It's tough.
And it's about mental toughness. In 2 shots, this end went from looking like Manitoba's going to get 2 to being forced to take 1. And you have to be very, very mentally tough to say, oh, maybe it'll turn again, right? As we've seen in earlier ends, the momentum could change around again.
Or even better, if we are forced to take 1, well, that's fine. Let's deal with it and move on, right? You're 1 up playing 9. That's a pretty good spot.
No, let it move. It's back. Yeah.
You want it right back?
No.
They don't want to let Jennifer Jones freeze. That's why they're saying whoa here.
Okay, Kirsten.
It works. And for Jennifer Jones, you want to get out of this end, you would play the hit and roll on the other stone and try to get either the double or group them together.
And that's what she's asking her teammates.
Doesn't matter. Either or. What do you like? The hit and roll is not bad.
Yeah, but you want to make sure. But
Yeah.
holy nose. Oh, a frickin' tap.
9. Sit and wait then. Yeah.
So there's the call. And this is the right call to try to get yourself out of trouble and try to maybe blank this end.
Little less. Yeah. Hard. Really hard. Really hard. Gotta go hard. Whoa. Hard. Whoa. Okay.
And Jennifer Jones just going to a plan B, knowing that rock was going to overcurl.
You see if Sherry goes to the in-turn or the out-turn. This is the in-turn spot. Twice we've seen overcurl for her.
Was I tight on the first one?
Yeah. Worried about it being straight. Yeah.
Control.
Yeah, this takes its time and then
It does,
goes.
but then it will break at the end. Yeah, control. Control. Try and nose it.
So nosing, it's fine. And again, what Jennifer Jones will end up doing is playing either a hit and roll buried here, or again, if she decides to be really aggressive, she could actually play an out-turn draw, knowing that she's going to be forced to take one into this area and try to create a deuce that way. She's going to be forced to score, so how do you get 2 now? You can accept the fact you're going to be forced to take a point here. What's the best option?
Control.
And it really does depend on where this shooter ends
Right
up.
up. Right up. Hard. Right up. Right up.
I think the more dangerous shot for her is allowing her to come around.
All the way, all the way, all the way, all
The way this ice moves, it's definitely makeable. Get it buried in front of the tee line behind that stone.
Good scrub, guys.
Will she go hit and roll?
Yep.
She's going hit and roll. And to me, this is the more difficult way to get behind the guard. But it's the safer shot in the sense you might only be drawn
We'll
against
just give
2
you a little
instead of
extra
3.
ice. No, I just
Less
you know to
aggressive.
go on it. So
Yeah.
you go on it and it still gets
Well,
to the
and
nose.
it's good for that spot too,
Yeah,
because it hangs.
Okay.
Haven't seen too many rocks in this spot, the outturn. Most of misses right now from Manitoba are coming from underthrowing their hits, having them over curl. So this is, again, that's kind of the safety. You really need to commit to this shot if you're Jennifer Jones. You really don't worry about rolling out. Really try to go for the roll because the nose hit does you no good.
Good. Whoa.
Whoa. Yep. Hard.
Jennifer Jones, the Manitoba skip, looking for the contact. The inside roll behind cover.
Go, 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 hard, hard.
Just not enough.
Pretty close.
Try, Jen.
So now a good chance for Ontario. She can roll into the top of the 4 foot, force Jennifer Jones into making a double.
Deal with the rest.
Have fun. Yeah.
Key, first key
Run
here
as
for
straight as it
Middaugh
normally does right
is to
there.
stay.
No.
Make sure you force the 1.
Thought we had it.
Like even a bit
Partial
more.
roll is perfect.
Okay.
Right? Control.
Kind of like rolling
Like
half
control
buried,
there?
right there, right where
Okay.
Kirsten Wall indicated.
I think the nose is fine, even if we roll under.
Yep.
And
Just
this
don't want
is
to give it the double blank, but
this is the intern again for Sherry Middaugh. She'd said earlier in the first half of the game she was rolling these, it was a little soft, getting them going.
You roll this about 3 or 4 inches towards the center line and just bring that rock at the top 12 into Jennifer Jones' sight lines would be a really good result.
Whoa, off, up a bit.
Looks like a really clean throw.
Clean. Clean. Yep.
She's
Clean.
close.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Are we going under?
whoa, whoa, just a little, Andra.
No,
just
weights up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Good throw.
But she leaves this open hit. Pressure is off now for Jennifer Jones. She's an open hit and stick for her 1 point.
Good end by Team Ontario.
Yeah, you would say mission accomplished here, wouldn't you?
You just notice how quiet it is with Team Manitoba.
Short next end. Try for our deuce. Yeah. Go around.
9.5.
Let's go.
We always said taking 1 and 8 is always a pretty good situation for Team Manitoba. So even though momentum may be, you feel it on Ontario's side, Manitoba's still in control of this game. Important to remember.
Yep. Hard. Hard.
Nice throw.
Nice throw.
Yeah, like picking cherries here for Jennifer Jones. The hit and the stick. And it's 1 on 8 for Manitoba. What a game here in this semi. 7-6 as we head to 9.
Soft.
Rocks in play to start end number 9.
Really tight, guys.
I think so, Jill. It's really light.
This one has been a battle. Back and forth we have gone. Tied after 5 ends now. 7-6 Manitoba.
Come on, faster, guys.
Ontario
Go,
with the
faster,
hammer
faster,
in
faster.
9.
Go, go, go. Great shot, Don. Very
Great
nice.
brushing to bring that guard tight to the rings.
Well, that's why I said have a
Nice
look.
job by
I know.
Officer and Overton Clapham.
Great shot.
Line's good. 1 to 5.
3.
4. Yep, and hard.
4, 5.
Yes for line. Yep.
Just for line.
Yes for line.
6.
Room.
Just for line. We're going to be deep.
No, we're okay. 5.
No,
7.
No. We're deep.
I think sometimes when you call those numbers out, a 5 is top 8. It's kind of wishful thinking. You want those rocks there, but it's so important to let the skip know where that rock is going to end up.
Monday evening, 7:30 local time, join Scott Russell and Katrina Lemay-Doan for Countdown to Beijing. It's a fast-paced look ahead to the Summer Olympics with great insight into Canada's stars and the issues they face competing in Beijing. It's Countdown to Beijing each Monday night on CBC.
No, it's not bad. Coming off a little. Back eight still. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry, whoa. Back eight. No, no. It's got all kinds of line. No, Jill. Off, Jill. No, 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 no. No. Atta girl. Pretty good, Dawn.
Not too bad for Dawn. And you look at the scoreboard, Ontario is 1 down. There's only 2 ends to play. Two good things they would like to happen with this particular, and that is they don't score at all, and they carry that last rock advantage being 1 down, coming home, or they get 2 right now and try to force Manitoba just to take 1 or steal.
So tough to blank with the 4 rock rule if both teams decide to go, and it's really tough to bring that blank into play.
Well, most competitive teams don't allow that blank to come into play. That's why Manitoba threw the guard. They didn't throw that rock in.
10. Whoa, whoa, bumping it through. Yes!
Oh,
my fault, Andra.
Little nick on that yellow out front.
I clicked the yellow guard when I was sweeping by.
I don't think it did anything. No, I
Sorry, Andra.
Good news for Ontario is that stone stuck around at the back of the ring, so it's going to be a little nerve-wracking here on Team Manitoba as this end builds.
Sherry Middaugh just let Andra know that wasn't her fault. She threw it very well. She hit the broom. She threw the weight that was required. They just needed to jump the sweep a little sooner.
Or get off and open that up a little bit. So they got caught in between.
One of the storylines coming in today was that Sherry Middaugh, 3 times in her career, has played in a semi at the Scotties and has never advanced to the final.
Heavy, heavy, heavy. No.
And there was a time in this game down 4-1 in the 5th where it could have slipped away, but they have stayed right with Manitoba.
Whoa. We're not even touching it.
No.
Getting better.
Can we roll off?
No, getting better. Whoa. Yeah, go Cass, go Cass, go Cass.
That's it.
Sorry.
I think we gotta clear it.
Heavy, heavy. Sorry.
No,
Okay.
it's
How
very
did you split?
It's very thin.
I got 6 to none.
You can try and roll here.
I like that.
Me too. Do
And
one
then
lonely
maybe
yellow.
clear on your next one and get a better angle.
Sure. Same size.
Like that.
It's up to you.
Control.
I've been impressed with how Ontario just always defers Sherry. She keeps asking for input. Whatever you want, Skipper. Whatever you want, Skipper. And you know, I think she's trying to get some affirmation. The one instance where they talked about the guard, the team said no. She listened. I mean, it's been really neat to see the communication with this team.
They will tell her what they think, but I think it's very clear who the final decision maker is.
You know what? I probably should have.
No roll, just hits and stays right where it is.
It rolled the wrong way.
Double all the way. Yeah. Just to get ours from underneath there.
Throw here.
First, yeah.
So now advantage back to Manitoba. They'll try this same shot. They hit and the roll to the center line. Really put some pressure on Ontario.
9.5, Cass.
Yeah.
Jennifer Jones wouldn't be too upset if she made the double on those 2 stones on the left as well. Even if she didn't roll Barry but killed the 2 reds, it'd be a pretty good result for her.
Yeah. Hard. Really hard. Hard. Really hard. Go. Hard.
Pressure's on this.
Nice
and
shot.
The double is made.
Made them both.
Double and that roll. Beautiful shot by Jill.
So now Ontario needs to deal with those front stones.
This is as good as that shot got.
Great brushing.
Interesting now, if the run backs made by Kim Moore, the blank is in play, you're going to be seeing Kim Moore try to play a double, yellow to yellow, may get all 3 yellows moving if she hits it right.
Kim Moore would like to remove at least 2 yellow.
Okay.
Will that yellow hang in?
No. So that stone doesn't look like a big deal, but it will force Sherry Middaugh to score this end. So it's going to change how she calls the rest of the end. She needs to now work her way towards a deuce and take the blank out of as an issue here. So it will change things up for Sherry Middaugh quite a bit.
Oh. Is that on the tee? Yeah, she'd have to move it.
I think I like
We're above the tee. We're splitting the tee line. I'm just, if we go here, if she runs that back, she could run too. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather come with the intern, but then we leave for that. It's not going sideways in here. What do you like?
I don't know, my thought was to come here, but I don't mind the guard. Do you want to call time?
What do you guys like? Come down, I don't want to shout. I think she's feeling. I think she's got it.
Yeah, she's
feel. We'll just wait. We can ask. What do you like?
I think my gut was the guard, but after Kat said this, I was thinking that probably.
But Jen just made a good point. She's got a peel, right? She can't get up a steal.
Yeah, if we guard, she's got a peel, I think.
Maybe we come in.
My fear is if we go here, we leave her. I mean,
well,
this is
still
going. That's going.
So she's only going to
the run back, and it's there.
We'll wait to do it on yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you like for ice? Do you want to go?
I think
wide?
it's going to curl.
Or, like, this is where I gave Jill for the draw. Or for that tap.
She was heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
a little more.
I think they decided on the guard. You heard them talk about all the possibilities. If you play the guard,
Okay.
you do know that Sherry's going to try to draw in there or double peel.
Okay. Here's ideal.
Manitoba's assuming they're going to play the double peel. If it's me, being an aggressive, instinct to me is to play the freeze. It's dangerous because you could give up a steal, but if you want to score two, I think you need to play threes. You're going to be chasing this entire end if you continue to peel the centers, and if Sherry recognizes that, she will play the draw. I think if she, again, looking to kind of open things up and afraid of giving up a steal, she'll play the double peel. It's a question. It's going to be a team decision because it is dangerous.
No, okay,
I think if the roles were reversed and if it was Manitoba looking at the double peel, they'd call it all day because they have so much confidence in that shot. Ontario does not. We just saw Kim Moore miss her big weight shot. Kirsten Wall missed that too earlier in the game.
Well, where they left the guard really will force Sherry to peel. If the guard was over another 6 inches to the left, it would be more difficult.
The nose of our rad. Yeah, you got to sliver by. You got to move our back rad. So if you can stay to the nose of it.
Sherry Middaugh doesn't need to throw big hit weight at this
Jump
either. She can
edge
throw
to
back
edge.
line, but
Yeah, I got a little air.
they're looking at the run back.
Or is it double peel? Just got to make sure we get to nose. Pardon? We just got to make sure we get to nose. Yeah. It's either that or the double run through and hope you clip it, but. Is the double like a quarter? Pardon me? Do you have to hit like a quarter for the double?
No, about a half.
Yeah, almost a half actually. You can come take a look, see what you like best.
A half because of the
angle. We got lots of time. Yeah.
I really like all the options available with the double peel.
Like the red's kind of all or nothing.
Yeah.
Right? If you do the double, clear it, and then they have to make a decision.
Yeah, half a rock, perfect, half a rock.
Yeah, yeah.
Or it's my first shot, right?
Yeah, so okay,
So
the
I
double
think the
peel.
double is better.
Okay, that's fine, and it's half, right?
Half a rock.
Just on the
On
C.
the C, yeah.
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 Okay. I like it.
I like that. Okay, peel.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think she's playing the red back.
So Kathy thought she was playing the wrong. She's actually going to play the double peel. So she's going to try to hit this high side onto the top and then drive this redstone back into the rings and try to open things up a little bit, even if she doesn't get the action she wants. If she
Like
makes
a
the
bit
double
more,
peel,
is this
it will be
good?
very close to doing that anyway.
We have to ensure the peel. You're going to throw here. Yeah, we have to ensure peeling it out.
The bad miss here would be to stick the yellow on that red one and not remove it and allow Manitoba to throw a second yellow guard up there.
Yes! Yep. Whoa!
Kirsten Wall wants to get them both out front.
Oh, that's okay.
Great shot.
That's a pretty good shot.
In the rings, very good.
Very good.
Really
You know,
good shot.
they thought this through, and they looked at how much weight needs to be played. I thought that was a good strategy decision.
Nice shot.
Jennifer Jones ignoring the rocks in the rings and throwing the guard. Now what you're going to see happen is if they throw the guard and don't guard it perfectly, Ontario can come down, tap that zone, get a little bit of an angle change down there in the forefoot. And again, they're going to bring 3 into play here. Jennifer Jones is taking a chance here by playing a guard. I don't know, I'm sure the other options, you could come down, tap lie 2, hit that one that Kirsten just threw into the rings, but it's this is a risky call from Jennifer Jones. They're committed now to protecting that stone the rest of this end.
But the reason they're calling it is because Ontario needs 2 shots to remove theirs.
Definitely.
And it's late in the end.
Tight. Hard.
I'm happy if I'm Ontario, though. I'll tell you right
Hard. Okay, whoa, over and up. Way over curling. Whoa.
This is over curling early.
now. So difficult on this ice to get the rock positioned exactly where you need it to with the amount of swing.
Okay.
Single guards are really tough. Big opportunity now for Ontario. Come down, tap those stones. Even if you're not shot stones, stay frozen. You've got 2 other rocks in the rings, and Manitoba is guarding for their life.
Want to try and keep this around or not?
Yes, you do.
I think you need to.
Main thing is to keep the shooter in front of yellow.
Yep, yep. But if we can get to the inside, that's even better.
I'm happy with nose at this point.
Well, if you throw like back line, you'll get to the nose.
I think 10 is perfect.
Okay.
I think
So
this
you
is
like back line or hat?
again a really good discussion in terms of
Back line.
What is plan A? How can we miss this shot? What do we need as a result? They need to get to at least the nose.
So the shot is to try to get their stone just across face here. Move this stone back out of the way into the back 8 foot and leave that one lone Manitoba stone on the button with 3 Ontario counters around the rings. And again, Jennifer Jones is in huge trouble if this shot is made.
This is the spot Sherry Middaugh threw in the second end, and they didn't get the movement late that they wanted.
Is it more than 10?
11.
No, then
11.
no. Whoa.
Clean.
No, we got lots. We got hack.
There's the tap to the back.
That's
Will it
fine.
leave the house? And it does.
Every time.
Angle wasn't as great as they would have hoped for.
She threw the split I was thinking of.
The guard is available
That's
for
fine.
Manitoba, but again, if you slightest mistake here and
Nice shot.
Yeah.
give up a deuce. And now Jennifer Jones is looking to bail. I said, I think you're committed now at this point of the end. If you don't make that double, 2 or 3 is in play again.
We just have to.
She double well, but then she double peels and
We gotta
hit.
be perfect with the guard.
yeah. The problem is if we don't make that roll, she double taps.
And then you're not gonna
We're
have
hard
a shot.
pressed, yeah.
We got a guard.
Again,
Or we
momentum
gotta-
turned huge
What about here?
in that end. Great
Yeah,
shot
that's
by
what I
Kirsten
thought,
Wall.
freeze.
Well, we
2
don't
good
wanna
shots.
Freeze.
Well,
Freezes
not
are
quite
bad,
free.
but come in, yeah.
3-time national champ Janet Arnott is the coach of Team Manitoba.
I think we gotta go there. I don't
She'll be
believe her
involved in
that,
this
but then
discussion.
She taps, we might have a double. At least this one's dead buried and it's up counting that one.
Can you come this way? Like this
The
way?
intern, yeah.
But
That's
yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like, Jan? Come up here so I can.
Yeah, no.
I mean, we play this. She just double taps this.
Exactly,
here, and then
that's
we're
what
in
I just
trouble.
said to Jen.
I think we gotta go here.
Yeah, I was thinking, it isn't. Yeah, that's, I like the freeze. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I think if
I don't
we
even think we have to be frozen. I just think, well, corner frozen is pretty good. But as long as we're here, so that she can't sit to nose, like I'd like her to roll off,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Okay.
So just to the inside then?
Yeah. Okay.
I like getting to the nose for one simple reason, is that if you do get to the nose, it would be very difficult to move. By coming to the inside of this stone, when Sherry Middaugh comes in, follows it down, and throws a hack to board waiter, this stone will spring out a lot easier than if it was frozen on the nose, and also kill the stone at the back of the ring. So hugely important shot. The key for her right now is to get it inside, closer to the 4 foot than that other Ontario stone that's biting the 8. That's #1 priority. And then you're really trying to not give Sherry Middaugh a shot to lie 3.
It's a very exact draw.
14-1.
Just a good look at it there. If she just crosses the face, Sherry Middaugh will simply come down and hit what Jennifer Jones throws and kill both yellows. So.
Clean it. Wait to it. Broom then. Whoa. Back 4. No.
Back 8 even.
Definitely don't want to be
Oh,
high side.
they're saying that this is heavy.
Whoa, it's got a curl. Whoa.
Done.
Officer and Askin haven't touched it. Now they do.
Well, they can't afford to leave an angle again where Sherry can just simply hit it.
It's got a curl.
Here it is.
Okay.
Huge mistake. Huge mistake.
It's wide open, past the guard.
Nose hit, lie 3.
Just wait, Jen.
Yeah, the weight was fine.
Yeah.
Just too much ice.
Great weight.
Too much ice.
I think you got to play firm. I like it. Yeah.
Now both teams have
We
played
get inside
this,
nose. Just pay attention to your
played
shooter.
this in turn,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah,
has
but
been
inside
straighter
nose
than
and there's
other
not as
parts
much
of the ice.
double. Yep. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. If we can touch center, you
Yeah.
got a kind of Christmas tree.
Okay.
The Christmas tree. We haven't heard that one in a while. Yes.
It's a
Yeah.
Colleen Jones
Jonesism.
legacy. So you can see
Firm weight, Kim.
they've
Yep.
got
Nose
all
to
of
inside.
that top yellow
nose is
stone.
perfect.
No, inside
No,
is
a
perfect.
little inside
Okay.
would be perfect.
Because then the shooters,
Yep,
if you
yep,
get
yep,
the shooter
yep.
and
Here. Yep.
Now you
Love
hear
to roll just to the inside. Roller shooter into this area, biting the center line. Jennifer Jones then will be forced to play an in-off double
and
against
stick.
3.
Yes, against 3. They have to be very careful that they don't play this too cute, which means they're looking for that
Get by
exact
the
hit
guard,
and roll. A nose hit will accomplish things for them
was that
too.
T-line?
So
Yeah.
make sure that they're by the guard.
Well, the thing to think about, if they do make the inside roll and Jennifer Jones does make that in-off double, it's going to be hard for her to score 2 even. So, you know, even a nose hit's a pretty good result here.
I actually like the nose hit better.
Yes! Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah.
Plenty of room by the guard. There's the nose. Ontario lies 3.
That roll to a really good spot for Middaugh. Say really good, a pretty good spot for Middaugh.
Stay on it.
That's okay.
Shoot, we just had to stay
Sorry,
on
Sherry.
it.
Yeah.
If you look where it rolled to, they're not happy with it, but it's really hard for
That's okay.
Manitoba to get to the inside of that shooter of Sherry Middaugh. She's not happy, but I think
Yeah.
long
Where was I?
term she's going to look at
You were
this. So
the-
this
you
is
were
a
right
pretty
there.
good result.
Yeah, just inside
Jennifer
the edge.
Jones, great call here. Really tough shot, but she's playing a freeze. She wants to cut down the rings and make things tough on Sherry Middaugh. So her call here is to come right into this pocket. Our rocks are a little too big. She can get second shot by freezing to that stone on the button.
No bounce.
If she, even if she doesn't, even if she gets
Well, ideally, but
third shot,
yeah.
how does Sherry Middaugh score 3? It's really going to be tough for her, but big, well, again, big momentum switch again in this end with
Well,
a couple of good shots by Kirsten Wall.
Again. No,
A chance for a save here for Manitoba, though.
With a
As
good
you
freeze.
said, good freeze. She only gives up 2, and she has last rock coming home, only 1 down.
She got caught last rock with this not curling enough.
So did the other team. This
Correct.
is a straighter spot. It seems to be a little bit keener, or the rocks will glide better.
Whoa, if you can. Got a curl. We can whoa. No, it's got a curl.
Got a curl lot.
Way out there.
It's really getting better.
Line's really
good.
There it goes.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
it's got a curl, Jill.
Whoa, it's got a curl. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
There.
Stop.
Shot.
That's a great shot. Now, did she get second?
I don't think she did, but again, how do you get
How do
3?
you get 3? Yeah,
Really
exactly.
Nice shot, Jen.
Mission accomplished in either case.
I think we're 2.
They're lying too, but that's a great shot. To get the inside.
Do you guys want to take a look? I think we're 2. Yeah.
Someone take a look.
I think it's 2 red right now.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely looks red.
Kim Moore will make that decisive call.
The problem that Ontario, it's not a problem. You're lying too. How do you
It's
try to find a way to
definitely
score 3? It's going to be really, really difficult. If you absolutely had to score 3, and to go to an extra end, you could throw the really wide in-turn draw that Jennifer Jones just threw and try to keep it out there. The danger, of course, is that you rub the yellow and only get
weight, back
1.
4 weight.
So
Yeah,
the shot they're looking at is chipping that red stone that's in the side of the 8-foot. It's almost straight into the side of the 4-foot. Really, really tough shot.
Okay.
But you can't really hurt yourself by playing that shot. If you're going to take a crack at it, this is the shot that I would play.
Right.
So what do you like for here?
The only way you'd play that in-turn draw.
So they're looking like they're going to move this into this back 4-foot area. Of course, you're going to have to not run into their own second shot and end up with one back here.
We need to hit about half a rock.
It's there.
So we need back 8.
So we're thinking like 80, 85.
I said the easier shot, 4-3. If you had to say score 3 to tie the game and to go into extra end, the wide in-turn draw is definitely makeable, but it's not worth the risk of rubbing that yellow stone.
Back 8 weight, 85.
Yeah, 85.
So this would be a huge third point to make the shot. This is really, really difficult. You know, 9 out of 10 in terms of difficulty scale. This is very, very tough.
Line's pretty good. Let it go. Go then.
Going out to a new path as well. Way out in the 12-foot.
No, wait. Hard, guys.
She's light.
Don't bother. Hard! Oh, it's off. Well, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have it. Okay. You don't have it.
We don't.
Don't have it. Don't
Not
kill
going to
yourself.
get there.
All right.
Manitoba will probably measure. See
These
what
two
counts.
will measure.
Okay.
There you go.
Not much of an attempt. Yeah.
Okay.
Such an interesting game so far.
It sure looked red from that tighter shot, though, didn't it? I mean,
It's worth a measure, though, and that's a good lesson for many of the curlers out there. You know, if it's close, you throw a measure on. It only takes a minute or two, and there's no doubt from all your teammates to say, "Hey, did you really look at that?" Which happens a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. The 3.5 doesn't start till this is done. Two reds.
you heard it, 2 reds.
Hey, all we need is 2. What?
Manitoba says all we need is 2. They will have the hammer. What a matchup in this semi as we head to 10 in Regina. Back at the Brandt Center in Regina, home of the Pats, and the NHL trade deadline is this Tuesday. Keep up with all of the wheelings and dealings on Hockey Night in Canada Radio on Sirius Satellite Radio and streamed live at cbcsports.ca from 1 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And a reminder, up next, Hockey Night in Canada, the matinee match. The Ottawa Sens on the road in Pittsburgh. The start of a big day of hockey begins at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. 8-7 is the line score here, Ontario. Wasco, you Wasco. 8-7 here.
Oh, look at this first rock. That is bad.
Kirsten.
Now what?
Now they need to talk about whether they peel out that rock that Andra Harmark just put in there. There isn't a worse spot than right behind the button for this first stone.
Well, I think what you
really
do now is
tight.
you commit to trying to steal. I think back of the button is not a good result. You can't afford to peel your own up because it gives Manitoba a free opportunity to use that corner guard. So commit one way or the other. But again, team decision. This is not the first time this has ever happened to this team. Again, use your experience, draw on what you know, and they're going to come into the rings, top 8. That's one way to deal with it, and see how it goes. It's going to be a test of patience here. I think it's going to come down to last couple rocks, big execution.
Yeah.
One key call, one key shot.
Line's tighter.
Late in this end.
Got to be 4, guys. Line's tight.
Well, talk about a key shot. Jennifer Jones' big save on her last rock. Last end. That was a gutsy call, and she made it just about perfectly.
Two totally different releases. Okay, that's fine.
I said she did a really good job of recognizing the difficulty she was in, and I said she threw it in there. She was third shot, but knew that she cut down the rings enough to force Ontario into an almost impossible shot for 3. And again, these are probably the two, along with Shannon, the top 3 teams. They play the most games all year. They're in the most big games. They're really good at recognizing when they're in trouble. They're really patient when it counts. And they're not afraid to call the right shot
Gotta go, Kat.
in the
Keep it going.
situation, and it's been a great game. It's been a great game so far. A lot of momentum switches. A couple of mistakes by both teams, but
I don't think she's going to peel.
It's the one.
it's been a battle.
Well, that's the beauty of women's curling. I can say that, and that is there's just that little shadow of doubt of how many shots are going to be made, and it makes it just absolutely interesting and entertaining for the fans.
Clean. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Trying to peel that guard.
Great shot, Kim. Nice
Kim
shot.
Moore
Very
does
nice.
that.
Very nice by Kim Moore.
Jennifer Jones will probably throw 1 or 2 more guards. She will freeze eventually to this one in the rings, and looks like she's going there now, in fact. And Sherry Middaugh needs to be careful to not just, once the freeze is in there, to blast it out and allow Jennifer Jones to use that corner guard. So this is a shot that Jennifer Jones is going to use to try to open up the rings a little bit, hoping Sherry Middaugh will move things around. If the freeze is made nicely, again, the aggressive call, the patient call is to play the freeze. Kind of that running scared call is to kind of blast it open and give Jennifer Jones a chance. So we'll see what Sherry does.
Yes, you're heavy. Hard line. Gotta go for line hard.
T-line.
Really hard. Really hard. Keep it going.
Freeze
Hard,
to
go,
that.
Kathy, sweep.
You want to
Hard,
freeze
go.
to it, though?
No. Just rub off.
Well, it's heavy.
I know.
Okay.
Bit of a mistake there from Jill, but
Just a reminder, March 8th Sports
That's
Weekend
what
has
they do,
a
is
full
sit
winter
there.
sport assault. It
Okay,
begins with the
firm.
bobsleigh and skeleton world championships from Germany at 12:30. There are World Cup alpine races, the men's GS at 2 Eastern, the women's downhill at 4:30 Eastern, and in between World Cup snowboarding from Calgary, the half pipe at 3:30 Eastern, all on Saturday, March 8th.
Curl.
Kim Moore with her second stone.
Okay, that's good, Kim.
that worked out well. They were,
scary.
they were a little nervous halfway down. It's actually better than it was. They have guarded that stone on the button a little bit. It wasn't guarded before. Nervy times.
And I like that big weight thrown by Kim Moore. If you're going to play those peels, no more of that in between. Throw it hard.
Spoken like a true Saskatchewan girl.
It works.
Better throw. A little fuller.
Some of us don't like that big heavy weight. It's scary.
Line's good.
It's scary.
Oh, gosh.
Whoa. T-line. No.
This is Jill's second attempt to try to make this freeze.
Line only.
T-line. Just where it is, don't
Back
let-
4.
Clean it. Tapping it a bit.
Clean it.
She's going to get this one tight.
Shot.
Nicely done.
Right on top.
Again, Sherry Middaugh. Will she recognize the difficulty here and run it? Slamming it back. They're talking about the run back. I really don't like the run back.
It's not easier to tap then.
Well, we
Oh,
saw.
no, it's not.
Yeah, it's still easy to do that. Right here.
Yep.
Committed, they're in.
We have to
And they're
get
good
to
at this.
nose.
This is
their game.
Kirsten's absolute bread and
Top
butter
four,
shot.
top
She's
buttons.
fantastic at this shot.
And if they make this right, if they actually
to
are
wait
able
until
to
the end with
get
line.
their own red stone out of the way, they have a really good chance of stealing. This is going to be this shot is going to see it's going to be right at the top of the button, frozen on that Manitoba stone, and Jennifer Jones will have a problem.
Line's a little tight. How's the weight?
7. 7.
Whoa, let it work. Whoa, are we more than 7?
Whoa.
Yeah. 7, 8.
No.
Then.
Bouncing.
No.
Can we pick it?
No. No.
Oh, dear.
Maybe get rid of ours. Yep.
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 Oh, shoot.
So
Okay.
she was looking for like a 6
Okay.
in the number system, and she threw more like a 10.
Overthrown.
And now that
Is short
advantage
okay or
goes
no?
back to Manitoba.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it.
No, I like to it.
Yeah, okay.
I like this too.
Yep. Keep going. By opening it up, I mean, Ontario would be happy to see them play that little split that Jennifer indicated and give them a chance to get out of
Speed's
trouble
the
here.
same?
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, this doesn't have
Nice
to be
shot,
perfect.
Jill.
You can get this
Nice
in
tap
just top
conversion.
8, just
Right to
partially
it, right,
around that
Jill.
zone at
Yeah.
the top
Okay.
12, and Ontario's got some issues. Again, first little mistake we saw this end.
Line is important here. They need to get it tucked in a little bit around the rock in the top 12 foot. And also, they need to keep it in front of the tee line.
Line's good.
Pretty quiet building here. This is money time.
Oh, it's got a curl.
10th end. Kathy Overton. Clapham.
More than Jill. No, off, Don. It's got to curl a long way, guys. Off. Whoa. Whoa. No, Jill, off. Whoa. It's got terrible line. Whoa. Okay, Kath.
It's great weight, just did not have the curl, the line. And timeout is called by Team Ontario.
Double. Huh? I think I gave her a double. I need to be a little lighter.
Again, the instinct, the natural instinct here is the double. But again, the danger is
look at it.
you're going to kill your own stone likely at the back of the button and again open up the scoring area. Again, the patient shot is the same type of shot. Tap that on the nose, kind of spread those yellows and reds out at the back of the forefoot and save your shooter at the top 4.
As much as we can see.
If you get a half, I think you're fine. It would peel, but you got to be peeled.
Okay.
Yeah.
I needed a foot less weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if we could get to the sticker, that'd be great.
You have to be, I mean, like, not firm peel.
Yeah.
I think you got to be peeled.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to move a whole lot.
It may finish just a little.
This intern has curled, actually. They're talking about it not moving a lot. Every hit on this side of the sheet
just a
has
touch more, like
curled.
Jennifer
Jones
well, remember you
doubles
threw
going away
here
the
and
other
you
way.
were up a little bit, and we hopped on it right away, and it ran pretty good.
I like edge rock.
Okay.
Okay. But I mean, it's up to you, Kirsten. Like, if you want a bit more, you can have a bit more. It's just a smidgen. Sure. Okay,
you should always, I think you should always listen to the shooter in this situation. She knows how she throws that big weight hit.
Big weight double, trying to hit as much as they can of that top stone. This stone will fly out of the rings. The question is, how hard will this stone be rolling as it works its way out of the floor? They need to hit this very thickly to make the double.
And you can see then the top rock and biting the 12-foot will come into play because you need to come very close to it to hit it thick.
This is not an easy shot.
Lots of weight.
Exploding out of the hack.
She threw this very well, Bruce.
Gonna get by that guard, does.
Hard, Kim. Great shot.
Good weight, the yellow's gonna spill out. Good shot.
It's a great use of their timeout because Kirsten needed to be comfortable with this shot.
That's sweet.
I really, really like the discussions that they had.
Great shot.
Ooh, make up for the first one.
Okay, same shot. I'll give you a
That was not easy. Not an easy shot at all. Did not miss that card by much and just got that Yellowstone out of play. Manitoba still in a good position here.
I think around same weight or a foot less maybe. Yeah, let's go.
So Kathy Overton had thrown a very nice draw on her first one. It just didn't curl enough. So now a chance to make it even better and still set up the deuce and the win.
Top 40.
Got a curl.
Oh. Let it work. Switch. Line's good. Yep. Top 4. Whoa, yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Walking over now.
Hard. Hard.
Looking to get by that red.
Just totally started swooping.
Good throw.
I needed my first one to do it.
Watch it. It just goes sideways here. It looks like it's well by the guard at this point. The guard's not even in play. There it is. And then just right turn
First one to do.
and rubs.
And you know, you expect that if the rock is a little bit light, but she had T-line weight.
Me too.
Again, interesting shot here for Sherry Middaugh. She'd love to hit this thick enough to save her shooter in the full 8-foot area, cut down the scoring area, but again, it brings that one at the top 12 into play and is going to allow Jennifer Jones, again, the same opportunity.
Firm weight. Firm.
So again, if in a perfect world you like to hit this thick enough where you could actually roll over onto your own here at the side and cut down the scoring area, but the problem for Sherry Middaugh is this stone is in her line of sight. You have to get by. likelihood of here is just hitting half a rock, rolling out, and giving Jennifer Jones the same draw.
Exactly. She is calling for firm weight, which of course would indicate that very same shot.
This is the in-turn we've seen all game curl.
Firm. Clean.
It's a clean throw.
Yeah.
Very nice throw.
Clean. Yeah. Clean. Yes. You're fine. Clean.
Just wants to pick it out. She's going to be rolling.
There's the pick.
Good shot. Kirsten a little overprotective on the sweep there.
Okay, sure.
I like all those rocks back
I
there.
know.
So again, Jennifer Jones needs to get this buried.
Jennifer made a great draw last end to force that 2 and not 3 from Ontario. Now she needs a good one.
The difficulty for Jennifer Jones is that she needs to get it into this area in front of the tee line. If she slips just to here, Sherry Middaugh freezes on the button and you lose. So this is, if it's going to go behind the tee line, the sweepers have to get it back far enough to get it, leave room for 2 rocks to get in there. It's not only the Ontario rock that's going to freeze on you, but one for yourself to score. So really important for the sweepers to communicate to Kathy Overton-Clapham where this rock is.
Line's good. It's pretty good. To the back one. Yep.
Down that same.
They're freezing.
They're freezing to the back one, which is a surprise to me, but they're coming down to the pocket.
Line's really good. Whoa, if you can. Whoa, 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 whoa. It looks heavy. Whoa, whoa. Right to it. Whoa. Hard. Held it. Good job.
And they just lost it a little bit at the end. They would love to have brought it right frozen down.
It's a pretty good shot, though. It ended up in a pretty good spot. Sherry Middaugh, to get rid of it, has to hit
2-3
the
inches.
low side, the center line side, to kill it, and it's not that easy.
It's definitely there, though,
It's
Mike.
definitely
He hit
there,
the
for sure.
inside, same weight that she just threw.
But the outturn is so
Kim's
tough
peeled.
because you're going to be tight to that
Went
center
dead
line.
straight.
This is not that easy of a
I'm
shot.
It was a little
surprised
further out, but
that
yeah,
she's
okay.
changing
I like a little
turn.
less.
If I was her, I'd use the
Take and
same
hold it.
turn that she just
Go
threw.
peel
Hit
and
half
It just
rock
cut
roll.
Actually,
across
this is
the
where you
face.
did that hit and roll. We were trying the thin double,
Right.
and it
So we can
came
even
up.
take a little less.
What did we have for that? We
I
had
like
like
the
that.
intern too, Joan.
Oh,
I'm
it
with
did
you.
come up a bit
It
at the
came
end,
up.
didn't
I
it?
really
Yeah.
don't
Okay, and I'm
understand
throwing
why you
keel.
change a turn when the visual is that you have to get past that rock in the top 12. It's in your line of vision. And the way that teams miss is they don't call the sweep because they're worried about that one. So if they took the other turn and put the broom,
It's either
just
that or
put the
crossing
broom
at
over
the inside
here.
quarter.
And that's what she's talking about right now. Same turn as she just played.
This is not as easy as it looks.
Now, having said all that, it it is
She should
makeable.
make it. Yeah, she should make it.
Yep. Oh, yeah!
That is not a good throw. She turned that over out of her hand. Can the sweepers hold it?
Right up. It's good. Right up.
And the yellow.
Good enough.
I think it worked. She got
It's
away
good
with
enough.
it.
Yeah, it's good enough.
It's okay. We're fine. We're
If Jennifer
1-2.
Jones plays this double, I will be
We're 1-2.
extremely
We're 1-2?
surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she's looking at
All
it.
because of that stupid 7 rock, right? It hit my 7 rock.
I want to remind you that
Yeah.
right after curling, we are heading to Hockey Night in Canada, a matinee matchup from Pittsburgh. The Penguins hosting the Ottawa Senators.
Quarter rock.
Ray Emery
Both thinner.
in goal today for Ottawa. Later tonight,
You want to go to the
Atlanta
exit?
in Toronto, Columbus, and Montreal.
Time,
Ty
time
Conklin
out.
in the net today for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Time
He
out,
has
we
been
call.
brilliant, as you know,
I told
especially
Janet
during
that
this
already.
second half of the season. That's following our curling coverage from here in Regina.
Pretty thin. You like that, or you like the draw?
How
Put it-
natural is it?
Well, it's not now. It's about an 1/8, quarter to an 1/8.
I like the drum.
Look how thin this is. 1/8 of a rock to make that double.
This
What do you
is
like?
really,
I like the draw,
really
only
tough to stick for
But
2.
I like that too. What do you like better? You like the double? You saw it right away, so.
Well, I mean, it's hard double.
And the problem is, if you miss,
The
here's
double, you lose.
Times in.
you miss the double, you don't get one
What do you
point.
like? Guess the draw.
I guess the draw.
I'm all about the draw right now.
Sherry Middaugh's partly happy, partly I think she's very happy to force the one here. You know, this would have been reminiscent of that shot she played against Jan Hanna that we saw in the opening, but you hit here and roll your shooter to there. Really, really tough. You got to hit a quarter of a rock or less and stick the shooter. Almost impossible.
It's a tougher shot than the shot against Jan Hanna. There's no question. This is it's too difficult.
You probably throw
and
close to the same.
there's another option here. Again, against Jan, she didn't. She was committed because it was the only shot she had. So this is.
Pardon? Little more, middle, yeah.
I like this too. Take enough ice that rock on the center line does not come into play. It should not come into play. All she needs is 8 foot here.
So Jennifer Jones of Manitoba, her last rock, 10th end, playing for the extra end.
All you.
Hands it over to her sweepers.
Curling.
Holy crap. Listen to Jill. She doesn't want to hear that it's over curling as a sweeper. She needs to drag it.
This has got to move.
It's good.
Anxious moments, but good enough for a point. Going to extra ends here at the Brandt Center in Regina. They are tied at 8. Ontario, Manitoba in a thriller.
Is that on mine? Yeah.
The Scotties Tournament of Hearts on CBC is
back in Regina, tight as it can be, 8-8 after 10. We're going to an extra end at Mellon Arena in Pittsburgh. The players are hitting the ice. And right after curling, we're heading to the Hockey Night in Canada matinee from Pittsburgh. The Penguins entertaining the Ottawa Senators, and we'll keep you up to date on any scores in the interim. Right now, 11th end action. Extra ends in this semi. Shannon Kleibrink and Alberta await the winner.
I think so, Kat. Oh, yeah.
Surely they just skate around and wait for us to finish, Bruce.
If somebody gets the message to them.
And they're struggling to get this one over. The way that you set up your steel here is you throw one guard really long like this, and the second one you want to throw really tight. To defend the guard, Andra Harmark will be asked to tick this rock over as close to the boards as possible without removing it from play.
Just tack. Yep. Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Yes.
These shots are pretty tough.
Hard shot, Andra.
She played that beautifully.
Fantastic shot.
And you see,
fantastic shot.
Moved it over. Foot from the boards. Excellent. The only way that would make that better is she lost her shooter as well. But the shooter would have hit the boards.
That's a great result.
Nice shot.
She's going to have to do it again, though.
Yes.
4 rock rule. Manitoba throwing another guard up. She makes this tick shot again, and we'll forget about that first half of the game from Andra Harmark. These are 2 critical shots here in this end. Back-to-back tick shots certainly would go a long way towards Ontario winning this game in this extra end.
Clean it.
Nice thing is she's going to be throwing the exact same shot she threw on her first one.
Good.
And again, you don't care even if you bump this into the rings. Just get it out of the way, roll your shooter in. You have to assume your skip can draw the 8 foot at this stage of the game.
Just a touch more. No. Just a touch more. Forward. Close. Yes. Yes.
Looks good too.
Hard sit.
Well, good shooting from
absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Huge. All is forgiven. Huge boost to Team Ontario.
Shots.
I don't know. I think if I was Jennifer Jones's teammates, I would have been yelling at her to sweep that second one. It had a chance.
A little harder, yeah.
It had a chance with a little bit of momentum.
Maybe a second could have got it out.
How about 2 sweepers? You can bring down 2. Another member of your team can help the skip. You can actually. You see Furby's team do that all the time.
Just hard clean.
Bring the 2 sweepers up and sweep that rock.
So this is now Ontario's to lose with those 2 great shots from Andra. Wide open situation. Peel, peel, peel. Old style curling.
Yep.
Leave your skip an open shot to win. Concentration key here for.
And I'm all about throwing this one hard too, just so you know, Mike.
Yep.
Clean, clean, yep. Right up, hard, hard, right up.
Clean.
Nice shot.
Nicely done.
Very nice.
And just to keep you up to date, they are dropping the puck now at Mellon Arena in Pittsburgh. Sens and Penguins immediately following this curling coverage.
Same thing.
Extra ends here in Regina.
I thought they'd wait.
No, that's more. Way more, I think, Dawn.
Halfway.
Way up there. We're really tight.
Over here is better.
We're really tight.
Whoa. Okay, hard,
Oh,
clean.
no, it's coming down.
That looks good to me. Hard, clean.
Oh.
Oh, no, kind of keep it over here a bit.
So Manitoba wants to keep these guards a little bit higher. You see all the rocks they've left in
Good
play.
shot. Good job. Good one, Jill.
One on the right and one on the left. You keep those guards
Nice
high,
throw.
and when they try the peels, you're hoping that they may jam on one and spin it back into the forefoot.
Right.
So
I'm thinking they should be throwing this guard just over the hog line. This is as the tighter they come into the ring. Oh, there's a mistake, perhaps.
never like the sounds of this. It looks like a nose to me.
It's like bang on the nose from Kim Moore.
And Kim is not happy with herself.
Okay, same way to head down this way.
Yeah, okay.
So now a glimmer of hope
Not just a
for
glimmer.
Manitoba.
Big hope. That was a big mistake. Even if you rolled that shooter a foot away from the center line, to actually nose it like that, it's big trouble.
Now, Mike and I have talked about this a lot. Now is this draw that you've got your one nose hit on that peel, it needs to be guardable. You need to make this good so that when they peel that guard, that you'll be able to guard it again.
Right. Not that critical as you might think to get it buried. It's important that it's guardable front of the tee line, front and the forefoot.
Go if you can, you guys.
Just top
You gotta come a long way.
Just top 12.
Go then.
Sweepers don't like the weight.
Oh, you got go. Hard. Guys, it'll go. Come on, Jill. Hard.
Jennifer Jones joins the fray here with asking an officer.
Okay.
They dragged that a long way.
There's an angle there for Ontario, though, to play the run back.
Do you like doing it the other way? It
Right.
doesn't matter. We're just going straight peel. Okay. I don't think you want to
I think you do.
run it in.
Well, why not?
Do
It's
you?
your own guard.
Why not?
It's your own guard.
Okay.
It's an option.
I think you do.
Well,
You hit this
not.
three-quarters high side. Roll the guard over, even a foot or two to the left. It's a pretty good
Straight
situation.
peel.
Yeah.
Straight peel.
The only danger is that you just
tick
feather the rock in the
Right.
house to make it a better rock in the forefoot. That's the only bad thing that can happen.
I really like the run back, though. Boy, oh boy.
Clean.
Straight
Easy.
Well,
Clean. Clean.
Just got a straight peel.
So situation is now Jennifer Jones will guard that stone for the next two shots, and then she'll play some sort of tap and force Middaugh into playing a double to win.
Yeah.
Right now, that stone is not good enough to win this game. So you look for that stone being bumped into right to the side of the button on her last force Sherry Middaugh for that short little double. But,
For now, though, with Kathy Overton Clapham, her last stone, she'll just be throwing a guard
let's throw
midway.
two more guards. Kathy will throw a guard, Jennifer Jones will throw a guard, and then we'll see what happens.
Lots of line.
Halfway to tight. Hard clean.
Line's good.
Hard clean.
4 feet. Here.
gotta go. Gotta get the line down.
Gotta
Come
go.
on. Hard.
Gotta go. Go, Don, go. That's good. Good spot. Shot.
Good.
Good enough.
Nice. Street sweeping by Jill. I
Nice
love
shot,
listening
Kat.
to her. She knows what she's doing.
It's gotta be the first one we get it forefoot.
Tighten up the ice a little bit.
Sorry, I need a 3 foot.
Clean. Clean. Whoa, easy.
Kirsten
Straight
Wall
peel.
trying to pick this one out again.
She's fine.
Nice throws.
Very nice. Well done.
Good shooting, Kirsten. Well done.
Again, we had that miss from Kim, but if you're Ontario, you think if you hadn't made the tick shots, you might have left the guard up. This is a pretty good situation still for Team Ontario. And both teams are happy right now with what's going on, and it's going to come down to Sherry Middaugh's final stone. Will she have a draw to the forefoot, or will she have to play some sort of double?
Scotties.
That's the only question we've got right now. Jennifer Jones would love to force her into a double.
That's exactly. If I was Jennifer Jones.
Try and run the double. Oh, we will.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Great teams will talk about, get mentally prepared for what they might be facing. So she knows she may have to draw to the forefoot. She knows she may have to play the double.
Mine's good. This way. A little tighter than that if you can. Got to curl a bit.
Go in.
Here, hard.
Go.
Go, guys. Hard.
Hard.
Keep it going. Got to get to the center line.
Hard,
Go, go, go.
Go.
Keep it going.
Go,
Hard, 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 hard.
Good sweeping from Askin, an officer. Quickly to Rob McLean now with an update from Pittsburgh.
Bruce Evans spellbound with that game you're covering ever since Mike and Joan explained the drag effect earlier. Here's the drag effect for Senators fans. Peter Sikora in the second minute on the power play. It's 1-0 early there. Back to you in this great game.
All right, Ron, the situation here. Skip stones. The first up coming for Sherry Middaugh.
She's changing turns because of where that stone ended up. There is a catcher short of the rings that Sherry does not want to jam on and spin that rock back into the forefoot area. The question then will become, what does Jennifer Jones want to do? She'll likely, he said, tap that stone that's at the top 8 foot right to the button will be the call. Tricky part is going to be keeping it wide enough and making sure they get the right angle on it.
Yep.
So not as easy again, not as easy as it looks.
Right up. Right up.
Middaugh needs to make this peel first.
Right up. Whoa.
It's going to catch a lot of this, Ron.
Well, now that makes that decision a lot easier with a little bit of a guard in play.
It really is
Jennifer
not going
will
to
play the tap.
Right.
No worries.
That's okay, Sherry.
Well, we weren't coming that way
it's
anyhow.
no worse, exactly. Sherry's, that does not block the in-turn draw at all. It changes Jennifer Jones' shot, though.
Yes,
Jennifer Jones would likely have played the in-turn tap. She's now forced to play the
we could
out-turn.
angle tap it, but then we're there.
Then she's just drawing here.
But if we angle tap it, then our shooter's here. She's just got that draw to there.
If we tap it straight back.
Time.
I like the straight back.
Me too.
Yeah. Just make her make a double for the win.
Yeah. Double will stick over there, though. That's the only problem.
No, you sit here. Oh, yeah.
Should mention, folks, if you are tuning in,
We go to
expecting
here,
to see the hockey,
then
it
it's
is
just a
streamed
double,
live
that's not gonna
on
work.
cbc.ca.
Yeah, probably our
That is
best bet is
cbcsports.ca. And right after the curling, we will head to the Hockey Night in Canada matinee. So if you want the hockey right now, Ottawa at Pittsburgh, at cbcsports.ca.
I can't imagine anyone would leave us, Bruce.
Well, I would, yeah.
Not right now.
This is pretty exciting.
This is the best.
Jennifer, we guard, and I said, would you want a full forefoot?
Yeah.
You like the, what do you like?
I like the angle tap.
At stake is a
I like
spot
the
in
angle.
tomorrow's final of this Scotties Tournament of
Well,
Hearts.
if we angle it, but what are you thinking, straight back? Then she's just basically got to me, it's an easier double, is it not, than if we
Well,
go
if
straight
it's
back?
dead straight back, then it might be a roll-out double. The only problem is she's got a catcher over there. So
I guess if you don't even really have to angle it, Jen, you just have to get it to here.
yeah, but then it's just a nose double cast.
Yeah. What's that, Kat?
Then
I
it's a
didn't hear
nose
that.
double.
Then it's a nose double, and that's what I mean. I think the nose double is...
I think if we can just keep it here, even
Yeah.
if it's top 4 with less space.
Okay.
I think straight back's pretty good.
Yeah, you're right, Jen.
Okay.
The closer
Straight
they
back,
keep the
just
rocks
here, less
together,
space.
the more of an angle Sherry Middaugh has to hit it on her first one. So that will, you're talking about, you may, if she only bumps it a foot and Sherry plays the double, you may see a blank here. Hate to say it, but there is a possibility that if she only bumps this stone about a foot, Sherry Middaugh may play the double and blank the end and take her chances in 11. So she'd like to draw and tap the stone straight back.
Yeah.
So again, ideally, she's going to try to come down, tap this stone straight back, and they're talking about trying to keep it fairly close to the stone that they bump so that the angle that Sherry Middaugh needs to do to make the double has to come in quite sharp. Shooter will roll out.
So just
If she doesn't get better than full forefoot, I expect Sherry Middaugh to draw.
Well, they did talk about a guard for a moment, and I really think that's a mistake. Letting Sherry Middaugh draw to the forefoot is an easier shot. I think it's very well thought out.
The only thing I would say about Sherry Middaugh, she has not thrown a draw in a while. She's had most of her multiple points have been scored on hits, so it is a bit of a new one for her. Kirsten has thrown a ton of freezes and come arounds and stuff, but it's left
maybe just a fraction left.
Sherry some tap backs. So.
You like that? Yeah.
They got to be careful with this line. If they tighten it up too much and tap this rock wide open, then Sherry Middaugh has a draw with backing.
Or that's right. That's right.
Or an open hit.
Or an open hit. You got to. The line is really important. You got to hit this on the nose
or the high side.
Back 4 weight. Whoa.
Back 4 weight works. But can they hold the line? Needs to be on the center line side.
Got a curl.
Back 4.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah.
Starts to come now.
Whoa. Whoa.
Looks good.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Nice little tap right there.
Nice shot.
Very nicely done. Gee, she's made some great shots.
I think the double's the call now.
Curl a bit more.
Double nose hit.
So it's a matter if you want to.
It's not that easy.
Nice shot, Jen. Curl a bit more.
They're just going to talk about the ice they need to take. Call the timeout just to not have to rush it.
It's whatever you prefer.
You'll draw the hearts.
Pretty much just a nose double. It's either that or this. What do you guys like?
The in-turn hit is one she's thrown several times in this game and has been successful at.
It's whatever you like to throw because they're both there.
Yeah. You're definitely both there.
Don't mind the hit because I just threw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys like? Well, either or I'm fine with, but I just threw the hit.
Yeah.
And it's not that. I threw it a little bit tight, but if we ice up, if I throw firm.
Do you want to play it across this way?
No. No. We got to go this way. Yeah.
Okay.
You just and we got lots of room.
Okay.
Yeah. What kind of weight are you going to throw?
I think we got to throw firm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Was I firm or peel there?
On your last one, firm.
Yeah. Okay. I like the same thing. What ice did we have, Kirsten? I was just tight on you, right?
Yeah, you just kind of started it. We probably had equivalent to that.
Yeah.
Nose will do the trick.
We got to get to nose, and I was what, 7/8?
Yeah, but they swept it the whole way, right?
Yeah.
So I think the ice is probably okay.
Okay.
You can have a touch.
I'd like a touch
less.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
Well thought out.
Yeah.
It's a shot they know.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk about this. This is Sherry's in-turn. And as we said, she just threw one that overcurled because she threw a soft handle. She needs to hit a little bit on the broom side to make this double. She cannot afford to come across the face or overcurl.
I like this.
Nose will do it.
We like it too.
And said she's thrown this shot several times in this game already. When she scored in 9, she threw a nice hit in this exact same spot.
So firm?
Firm.
Yep.
To just watch her release.
Good look at it there. It's easy in your club game. Tough right now.
Yep. Whoa.
So Sherry Middaugh, 3 times to a semifinal, never to a final. Is that about to change?
Come on over, baby.
Hard. It isn't.
What a game.
Great game.
What a great game.
Not a person in the building. Seated, everybody on their feet.
Out on you. I slid tight.
A steal in the extra end by Jennifer Jones and Team Manitoba. And that sets up tomorrow's final between Shannon Clybrink and Team Alberta. Jennifer Jones and Team Manitoba. The Jones team now has won 7 consecutive. At one time they were 3-4.